this lap. 3 wide and deep. This is like a damn plate race. Yeehaw, baby. 3-1-0, pushing up. Race all the way back, baby. Real man. Awesome job, dude. Awesome job. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Oh, my God. We got a champion. Yes. Lincoln, sorry, boys. Yes.
All right, well, we're live, baby. What's up, everybody? Let me make sure that the outro or intro is off. We're live, and we're not in the same place anymore, unfortunately.
Oh, so sad.
That sucks.
We gotta fix that. But until then, welcome everybody to another episode of the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. Everything is looking good. We have not dropped any frames, so that's already a positive compared to the last time I hosted. I can't speak English today. Gotta get the UFO in frame. I'm sorry.
There it is.
My brain is everywhere today, man. Because we've had a lot of stuff go on. Yeah.
Dang, dude,
I'm tired, man. I'm tired. That was a long week, and I had a lot of stuff to do when I got home. But yeah, we're live. We're back in action. If I'm really quiet, I apologize. It says I'm peeking the mic, though. But I need to stop monologuing because it isn't even a very good monologue. It's like a Stephen Colbert style monologue. It just kind of sucks and drones on. So I guess we can just jump right into it, saying how we basically jumped right into it when we were at the track. Nashville happened, and I got to say, I mean, I don't know about you guys. Danny, I'll start with you. I had a blast.
It was just good to have the whole gang together for the first time and actually be back inside the speedway, and it's like made you think like, oh yeah, we haven't done this in literally like a year and a half, so it felt pretty great to kind of be back into that kind of environment and getting the chance to do that. Even though we had media credentials this past weekend, we had probably the smallest little corner in that media center. But
that was our corner. We made that our corner.
But it's a good corner.
We were there and we owned it. We're very thankful for
Hey, it was right by the exit and it was right by the bathroom. So that was true.
It's easy to sneak out and get water.
Get in and out of there. But we are very thankful to Eric Moses and his team, all of our contacts we made over at Nashville Superspeedway. We made a few new contacts over out there, did some networking. It's good to kind of get out there and do some stuff. And, you know, on a unrelated note, we found out just today, 3/4 of the podcast minus Eric, we found out we got cleared for media for the SRX Championship at Nashville Fairgrounds too. So
we'll be there.
We're gonna be everywhere, man. We're gonna be everywhere.
More coverage for Nashville race.
I literally got stuff booked up to go to like every Cup race in August except for Watkins Glen, because I'm gonna be honest, I'm not making those long drives, man. Like Eric, you made a long.
That's your limit.
No, I mean, 8 hours is doable. It's once you get to like that 15 range where I'm like, ooh boy, like because last year I went to Daytona and I went from like southern Wisconsin to Jacksonville in one drive, and it took me 19 hours, and I was about asleep the last 3 hours of it. But Eric, you know, you've been driving lately. I want to ask, how'd you enjoy the weekend, and where are you? You're in another hotel, it looks like.
Yeah. So I'm in Charlotte right now. I was telling you guys beforehand, if I look out my window and kind of move the curtain, I can see Hendrick Motorsports. So I'm like right over here by Charlotte Motor Speedway. There's a bunch of hotels right in this little pocket. So I'm just sitting over here. I've been enjoying myself the last couple of days. Went to the Hall of Fame today, worked on a video there. So you guys are going to see an updated look at the NASCAR Hall of Fame here. Probably later this week or early next week. That video will be up. Been visiting with some friends in town as well. But it was great to be in Nashville last week. Thank you again, Danny. You and your wife were amazing hosts. It was really nice for y'all to let all of us crash at your place for the better part of a week and drink all your drinks and eat all your food and all that great stuff. So really appreciate that. But it was a great time. You know, Nashville Superspeedway, it's not that old of a track. It was only built about 20 years ago, but it's been kind of abandoned for 10 of them. And despite that, I thought the facilities, minus the parking situation and some of the concessions, looked as good as new. You know, I thought the grandstands were really nice. I felt about as comfortable I mean, it was a sellout crowd, and I felt as comfortable just stretched out in the grandstands. And I'm a big dude, you know, guys know that. Like, I don't fit in a lot of places comfortably. I was very comfortable watching, 3-hour race from the grandstands, surrounded by 40,000 great NASCAR fans. It was a great experience. I've not been to a sellout NASCAR race, like sat in the grandstands, and I don't know how long. It was just cool to see, to look to your left, look to your right. Those seats were filled. Look in front of you, row after row of, fans waving and cheering as their favorite driver goes by. There's just something about that I hadn't seen in a long time. It was great to see it again. And the racing was good. If you just ignore the fact that Kyle Larson dominated, this is just another track that fell victim to the Kyle Larson show. But I had a great time. I hope NASCAR continues to grow its presence in Nashville, not just with the Superspeedway, but also beyond it. Hopefully the Fairgrounds gets a date sometime soon as well. But I thought Nashville as a town was fantastic, and NASCAR has a bright future there.
Darren, I started thinking of just today, you heard us talk about Nashville having a presence in NASCAR. I realized back in 2019, I don't think other than filming the burnouts, I didn't really get out and get a chance to explore anything with the awards ceremony. So I really need to make sure I do some content on that so people get to see that this coming year. It will be back in Nashville this year. That's already been.
Yeah, I'll definitely be back next year because the overall energy was absolutely amazing. And I was watching this thing on NASCAR's YouTube channel where it basically like followed around. It followed Eric Moses around all weekend long and all Sunday long, basically. And he said that he had plans to do more advertising in downtown Nashville and some more things involving the track. And also, I mean, but still to that point, like. There was still a ton of advertising throughout, downtown Nashville. I mean, we were down there on Saturday night and we saw stuff by Hattie B's and stuff.
I like how we were down there on the boulevard Saturday night, and the only club that we went to was the one that was the NASCAR sponsored one. It was Ally 400.
And it had these records. It had these little record things.
I forgot about that. I need to.
I think that was Blake Shelton's bar, old Red. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
And I mean, just the inside was allied up. It had Alex Bowman on his face on every single elevator in there. And heck, get this: we're in the middle of a dark bar. There's music playing everywhere. Mm-hmm. Eric still gets recognized in the middle of the bar.
Yeah, he got recognized in the club, guys.
Because we went to the NASCAR club. We're so basic NASCAR fans.
They were playing
We were crossing the street one time, and we're all, just trying to follow the leader. And even then, I'm like, I hear this guy go, "Hey, Eric, love the show," and Eric didn't even notice him.
That
guy tweeted through. That's right. Yeah.
He tweeted at me later, and I said, "Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't hear you. I guess."
Okay.
Yeah.
Really big things in Nashville. Shugs is being very needy. I need to get him out of the office real quick.
Okay. Well, really quick, I do want to actually say one thing. There's NASCAR fans all over the country. And by the way, those of you who have left Super Chats, we'll get to that at the 1 hour mark of the show, or probably right after the lightning round. So feel free to leave whichever ones you want. We will get to them. I promise. And thank you to the new channel member. I will shout you out at that point too. But there's NASCAR fans all over they're all over Nashville, all over Tennessee, all over the country. I actually got a funny story, and I want to shout these people out because of how generous they were. My girlfriend, she works as a waitress. I guess 3 NASCAR fans came in on Sunday, and they were like, I know one of them was a Truex fan. If you guys are watching, thank you for this. And I said I'd do this. But they found, I don't know how, but it came up in conversation that she's dating me, and they're fans of the show. So thank you for giving her a big tip. That's awesome. Y'all are great. And if you're at Road America, seriously, come up to me. If you know it's you, DM me on Twitter, whatever. Let's meet up because I just think that's pretty cool. But no, the energy, going back to Nashville, the energy overall this past weekend was real. I mean, it felt, I know electric is definitely the stereotype word to use with it, but it felt very, it was just full of energy. I mean, when we walked through the fan zone, for instance, the first thing that we came up on is they had a tent set up with giant ass blocks of wood throughout it, and they were carving stuff with chainsaws. And I'm like,
that was pretty cool.
That was the first thing we seen.
This is NASCAR.
Well, and even if you're not NASCAR, they had Gravedigger, the actual monster truck, full on display as well. So they pulled out all the stops.
They did, and I give Eric Moses and his whole crew tons of credit. I know that, and we'll talk about some of the stuff when it comes to like traffic and whatnot and whatever later. But everything that was within their control, I think they knocked out of the park. And I know before this weekend, I personally was thinking, and to an extent, I'm not completely sold yet that this could happen. But I was thinking that this could be just a 4-year stopgap so that they could just use it to leap up to the fairgrounds. But the more that I hear people both in the garage, media center, in the industry, on different shows, whatever, the more and more it sounds like the big goal is to have the super speedway have one race during the year and the fairgrounds have another if they can manage to get it done. And I'll tell you, I'm 100% with it, because the racing this past weekend, and I think we can kind of get into the Cup race here with this one. The racing this past weekend, I think, was a lot better than most people expected. I thought we were going to have a single file train the whole time based on like every race that I've watched at Nashville in the past. I thought we were going to have exactly the same thing. And throughout the weekend, I thought the racing progressively got better as the weekend went on, as the groove widened out, as the drivers got more and more comfortable. Darian, I want to hear what you think, man. Just starting off with the Cup race, like, what's your big takeaway aside from the obvious of Kyle Larson dominating? Like, I think that at that point we might as well just like have a button that we press to say he won again.
Yeah.
But what were your thoughts?
Well, that's quintessential Cup Series racing. It's really hard to pass. And also just like Nashville Superspeedway, it's like Dylan Smith had tweeted this during the weekend. It's the biggest short track in the world. I mean, like it's not a short track, but it like the way these guys were driving over the weekend, though, it definitely felt like it was short track racing during some key moments in the race. And then you had some guys who were just really frustrated with the whole brake situation too. I mean, how many brake cautions were there? About like 8 or 9 of them too.
Yeah, I went back and rewatched the broadcast of it, and I was, I don't even think we really knew it as much when we were in the stands, but I was surprised at how much brake issues these guys ended up having this weekend.
And it ended up happening to guys who were on the bubble too, specifically Chris Buescher, and we'll get into the point situation. But now we finally have a legit race for those final playoff spots too. So it's gonna get really exciting in these last coming weeks. But back to the race though. I mean, Kyle Larson, man, he just right from the get-go too, just immediately just takes the lead, and he's just gone and led nearly 300 of the, he led nearly every lap, basically all 300 laps. And I mean, like, what is this, 4 or 5 wins in a row now too? And now we're heading into Pocono.
What are we counting? Are we counting too his wins during the week too?
Might as well.
I'm counting his all-star win. I'm counting all the wins. He's winning everything. 4 straight Cup Series events. He's
on a roll right now, and it doesn't seem like anybody's stopping him right now. And even there's even some comparisons now to Jeff Gordon's 1998 season. That's how dominant he's been.
Let's pump the brakes on that.
There was I saw a tweet. I'm not comparing it, but I saw somebody was comparing it.
If he keeps this up for a month or so more, then I think the comparisons are absolutely fair, But
yeah, there was some stat line that was comparing it to or whatever. I can't remember.
Gordon was like he had like 15 straight top 5s or something. It was like something ridiculous. It was crazy with a bunch of wins.
Yeah, I think his average finish on the season was like, let me check. I think it was like 4th or 5th. I mean, it was insane.
Crazy.
I think he has the potential to do that. I don't want to take 1 month this season and compare it yet to a whole one, but like it's scary for the competition how fast he's been, because like when we were in the media center and they were like showing different metrics and stuff, and every single one, like whether it was 1 lap, 5 lap average, 10, 15, 20, it was Kyle Larson. It was
all day,
just almost unfair.
Just good.
Eric, though, I want to bring up with you those that were behind Larson in this race. And I think there's, I have a few people written down on here, but I think the main 3 here are the ones that really should be talked about. That surprised is Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Eric Almirola, and Corey LaJoie. Stenhouse and Almirola running in the top 5 almost the whole day.
Yes, Almirola has good luck.
Well, and Corey LaJoie getting a top 15 after it's all said and done.
And we talked to him before the race too, and he was like saying that would be a good day, a top 15.
I talked to one of his crewmen, Tig, Jonathan Willard. He's on he's on his team now, and I thought it was funny that I told him, I was like, hey, try to get Corey in like the top 20. He's like, we'll try. I don't know if we will. And we got him top 15.
No problem.
Eric, I wanted to pass to you really quick. Like, what do you think it is about this track that brought so many of those who usually run in the middle of the back of the pack up compared to usual?
I think it's a mix of two things. I think one, it being a new track in general, nobody had a deep notebook on this speedway specifically. I mean, there are ones kind of like it. It's same surface as Dover, kind of the same length as Darlington, but there's nothing really quite like it exactly. So I think every team starting from scratch, just naturally, like we saw at the beginning of this year, a lot of parity for the first couple months of the season, and then the smart teams figured it out. So, I don't think we'll see Stenhouse, Almirola, both Ganassi. I don't think we'll see that kind of parity, 2 or 3 Nashville Superspeedway races from now. But I think first one makes a lot of sense that we would. Also, the fact that this is one of the few races this year that did have practice and qualifying, you'd think that would favor the bigger, faster teams that have the resources to really dial in and really get the most out of those hour-long sessions. But I think a combination of all that really just led to the parity that we saw. I mean, that Stenhouse run looked kind of like how he ran the first month or two of the season when he was comfortably inside the top 12, top 14 in points. He's had a rough month or so now, but there was an interview with him early in the weekend where they feel like they're not out of the points battle. They can still point their way into the playoffs. They just need to start finishing top 10 consistently, which they believe they're capable of. They ran second, third, fourth for much of this race. Came home 6th, pretty great run. Daniel Suarez had a top 10 run, and he was one of those guys, Danny, that was mentioning brake failures, or he was worried his brakes were gonna fail at the end of the race, and he still finished inside the top 10.
Didn't Kurt Busch's brakes fail on the last lap? I believe.
Was it his brakes, or was he out of gas? I wasn't sure what happened.
I don't know what happened to him. Yeah,
I didn't see that. I have not gone back and watched much of the broadcast, so I don't know exactly what happened to Kurt, but he coasted. It looked like down, but he still got a top 10. Ross Chastain broke up the Hendrick top 2 with a late race pass. That's the thing I want to mention. Going back to just the racing overall this weekend. It progressively got better and better because the groove widened. The track took in rubber. That second lane really came in and became a viable option by the Xfinity race. And, again, if we exclude Kyle Larson, if we pretend Kyle Larson did not exist and like Chastain versus Byron was the race for the win, you had 3 really tense late race battles for the win all weekend long. Ryan Preece taking the lead late with like 4 to go in the truck race. Kyle Busch, Justin Allgaier, and everybody jostling on those restarts straight up to the end of the Xfinity race. And then you had Chastain passing, I think it was Byron, right? With like just 2 or 3 laps to go in the Cup race. So if you just get rid of Larson, you had 3 really exciting nail-biting finishes this weekend. And I think that's just because it's a new track, and I think the widening groove throughout the weekend. That's what drivers are saying. I saw the chat was also mentioning the resin that they put on over the surface. It's not the same as PJ1, but it helped. I think that helps the track take in rubber. I just think that's what led to better racing than we all expected. And credit Goodyear. I don't know exactly what tire combination they brought. I think the right sides were the same as Dover. Maybe it was the left sides were the same as Dover, but they brought a tire that wore a little bit and put rubber down and created good racing all weekend. So I think we always trash Goodyear and NASCAR when they get it wrong. I thought this weekend they got it about.
No, they got it right. Well, they got it right.
Really quick, the chat did say that Kurt ran out of gas, and that was one thing at the end of the race that I think all of us up in the stands noticed after a bit. With Larson is like there was about 15 to go until about 5 to go. He would just shut the car off right after going past the start finish line. I mean, he was not losing.
He was not losing any time to Byron in second when he was doing that.
Yeah.
The only thing that threw a ridge that was when he got all that trash on him and he had to go full throttle because he was trying to catch up to JJ Yeley. But because he had all that trash on him, he wasn't running as fast. So JJ Yeley was like keeping a wide gap on him for some reason.
And speaking of Yeley, I noticed that during the weekend, he, for Rick Ware car, was actually running considerably faster than I would think one of those cars would run. I think he had some problems at the end, so his finish didn't reflect where he ran.
Well, let's see. He was a rookie in 06, 07, so he's a veteran.
He's ran Nashville before.
He should be doing good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'm saying, for a Rick
it's good
Ware
for him,
car,
though.
That's really good. I know we make the jokes and stuff, but no, this. I think. Oh, and by the way, if you're buzzing, there's a hornet just flying around in here. We've graduated from flies to hornets now, so just
and you've reached the final boss.
Speaking of that, I don't know if you guys ever saw it, but during the Cup race at one point, I had a giant red wasp land right on my media pass, and I was like, please get off. And he stayed there for a few minutes.
Dude,
I told you I had some freaky looking bug like hit me in the mouth and fall into the guy in front of me's hair, and I didn't say anything.
I had to punch my own throat because there was like some type of mosquito or something on my freaking throat, and I was like, oh, it's just basically, yeah. I was like, oh my god.
How did he die? What happened to him, doctor? He punched himself in the throat.
Throat punched himself.
Well, I don't think I've hit the final boss yet, because I think after like normal Hornet, we have to go to like Japanese
Super Hornet.
The Japanese murder Hornets. Like that's,
that's Charlotte Hornets come to your house and like beat you up.
Basketball team. Yeah. They're not that fierce.
Michael Jordan shows up. That's who the final boss is. He's the owner of that team.
Yeah, he's the owner.
Well, hey, can I mention something that I just found really random? So I was at the Hall of Fame today. I didn't know Jeff Gordon's full name, but did you know Jeff Gordon's full name? I took a photo of it. Hold on. Shoot. Where'd it go? Is Jeffrey Michael Gordon. That sounds an awful lot like Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Yeah, I'm like, no wonder Jeff Gordon's
he would have been named that like well before Michael Jordan would have ever been a star.
I'm just saying, if there's something about that combination of like syllables that leads to sports legends. That's all I'm saying.
Those damn Ordens.
Coincidence there.
Really quick though.
23-11 and Hendrick are going to combine.
You heard it here first.
23-24-11. I don't know. But speaking of stuff with Jeff Gordon and Hendrick Motorsports, I wanted to ask, I'll start with you on this one, Danny. Chase Elliott was DQ'd at the end of the race. Per the rule, everything was done right with it. I want to ask, though, because I think there's been a little bit of a conversation about it, and I want to be fair and have the conversation about it no matter who it is about. Is it fair to disqualify someone for what they did on the final run of the race, or should the punishment be just for that run? Like, because for instance, like with Elliott, him having don't get me wrong, 5 loose lug nuts, like that's pretty damn bad.
How do you? I'm just curious.
That's crazy.
How much more practice does your pit crew need this week after something like that? That is.
Hey, bad. That's the same pit crew that won $100,000 2 weeks ago.
Well, what are they doing?
But they know what they're doing. They just lost it. Yeah. They were going for a record.
But
they thought
5 loose lug nuts.
Yeah, no, that's pretty insane. The argument there is they lost. They lost time on the racetrack because Elliott was battling vibrations left and right. So he lost like 7 or 8 positions on that final run and came across the line, I think, in 12th or 13th. So the argument is that should be the punishment. NASCAR says it's a safety deal. I get it. I think, at least it's a black and white rule. I'm not sure that the punishment fits the crime, but if that's the punishment, you should not commit the crime. That should continue to be coached. Do not leave lug nuts loose. And if late in the race, they knew they weren't winning that race, you kidding me? If they knew they had 5, they had to have known they left at least a couple of those bad boys loose. They may not have realized all 5 loose, but they had to have known some loose. Pit, man, just pit and fix it.
Go into one big lug nut next year. Okay, you cannot mess up. Woo.
It could have been a simple fix, just like pit late, get all of them on and stuff. I mean, it's not like you were really battling for anything at that point.
You may not have finished 13th and said you would have probably finished like 25th. You probably would have
but you already
but it's better than last.
Exactly.
And at this rate, he would have kept the credit for that stage win. He loses credit for that stage win, which is big.
I guess my big question is should something that happened in the first or second stage of the race be taken away from something that happened in the last 20 laps?
Yeah, I think it's kind of silly in this case because obviously the lug nuts weren't necessarily loose when he won that stage. I guess we don't know. They might have been, but we don't know. We just know they were at the end. It's silly. Maybe that rule should be rewritten, I guess, but
we're just playing the game of, okay, should we rewrite the rules or not? If we're, at the end of the day, the rules are what they are, and it was upheld the right way.
It was upheld the way that they're written. What I'm saying is something like, for instance, with Elliott, why not in that last run put him at the tail end of the lead lap as the punishment? Or maybe like the tail end of like whatever cars are running at the end. What I don't get is taking away the stage win for an infraction that happened 2 hours later, because that infraction did nothing to aid in him winning that stage. Now, I'd say this too if it was Kyle Busch or Joey Logano.
No, I think that's fair. I think that should be rewritten in some way. There should be more clarification. Like if the penalty afterwards is, he had an illegal engine, then everything gets disqualified. But something like lug nuts, I'm with you. I think that like I said, I don't know that the punishment fit the crime. It does per the rule book, but I think you're right. The rule book should probably be adjusted.
This is one thing I will not miss once we go to just, a single lug nut, all these little lug nut infractions, getting people DQ'd and stuff like that. That's one thing I'm not going to miss for sure.
Oh, the lug nut infraction will be a wheel flying off the damn car.
Yeah, basically, like that'll be your infraction. Like everyone will know at that point.
So I alluded to it a little bit earlier. One of the big things that people were talking about was traffic issues, and we don't need to like dwell on this too much. I think everyone pretty much said what needed to be said on it. But what exactly, I guess, can they do about it? Like the only thing I can think of right now, because I don't think that they're going to have the willpower, not the willpower, but the pull to get an added extra 2 lanes or whatever, the way that they did for Kentucky, 13 years ago or however long it was.
I started to think at one point this weekend, okay, why don't they just shut down all the lanes and send everyone out one way? And I realized right behind the place is a huge Amazon facility, and they still have to be able to get in and out, which I felt so sorry for all those Amazon guys having to fight all that traffic this weekend. But no, they can't do that. I really don't think that there is anything they could do to leaving the track. There's nothing you can do. We necessarily didn't have that issue because we were parked in the media a lot, and they did kind of give us, I guess you could say, a little bit more priority when people in our area was leaving the speedway. So unfortunately, we really didn't get to know what as much people were kind of mad at on that aspect of it. But I do know going into it, and I think Eric had mentioned to us that they had decided to extend the race 10 minutes because people were having so many problems. And at one point, they actually just stopped charging. They just said, just come on in, just come in. And that was the thing that's holding everyone up for the longest time, is because they were, they had slow people taking cash so people could get parked, and just kind of messed things up right there from the get-go. So I think entering, if they can reevaluate their finances from this year, see how they did, concessions wise, or concessions is another discussion we really got to have about the speedway. But maybe see if one of the first things they can do to progress is add in at least, not saying all the, like, your really close parking places, maybe make those where you still got to pay. But if they're still further away, maybe let that be free parking.
Yeah, I think it's as simple as just parking should be free at a NASCAR race. There's no, like, the money they're making, the little bit of money they're making from $10 here, there is minuscule compared to everything else they're making throughout the weekend. And I think this weekend, the fan response, the backlash was stronger than whatever profits they made from parking. So next year, the simple solution is don't charge people for parking instead of having to make change. And again, we kind of parked in the media lot, so we were in some of that traffic, but we never made it to the front of the line where we saw exactly how many people they had taking money and stuff like that. But maybe they only had a couple of people taking money. That's a big mistake. They were either understaffed or it was just too slow. The process of taking money from one car at a time was too slow. And I think, either way, make sure you're staffed next year so that maybe you can have more than just one entrance to the track open. You can have a few more people directing traffic, because that's one thing that me, Darian, and Jarrett, when we drove up to the track, we tried, the Google Maps took us up a back way at first. And of course we get up there and there's a cop blocking it off.
They kept turning us back. And
so there was really only one way in and one way out of the racetrack. And you had several lanes of highway traffic all merging into one individual lane to get into the one parking lot entry where they presumably had one or two people taking money. That just needs to go away. You need to have enough people to open up a couple more entrances, and don't make them worry about taking people's cash. Just bite it, eat it. You're not going to make the extra little bonus from parking next year. I think you just got to sacrifice that and accept it.
Agreed on that part.
So, unless there's anything else we want to talk about from the track, we can kind of gravitate towards more of the playoff outlook and everything.
Oh wait, one more thing too about the whole cooler situation too. Let's also address the shortest boycott in NASCAR history. And, dude, we saw what's his name, Randy the Plumber, just strolling on in the
Listen, I like Randy. I got to talk to Randy.
I'm like, but Randy, what are you doing, Mike? He said We are
Yeah.
boycotting the NASCAR races.
Oh wait, I got a hot
Immediately
pass.
fighting
You said I get a hot pass
yeah.
this week. Oh, okay, I'm there.
And dude, not just that, like, dude, like it seemed like all of the top NASCAR media elites were basically just like trolling him too and stuff like,
I agree with them completely.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, I agree 100%. I just thought it was hilarious how he was just
Randy, we can't help you. Like I know a couple weeks ago he was talking about wanting this big thing where he went on the road with like a RV or something like that and set up these little race weekend parties or whatever. But I don't know. Like you got to pick one or the other. Randy, are you dedicated, want to follow it, or are you going to boycott it just because of the coolers?
I also thought
Sell
it was
your own
crazy when
t-shirts.
I thought it was crazy what he said about Kenny Wallace too. There, I know Kenny said some things about the whole cooler thing, but he basically called Kenny Wallace's. He basically just said, "Oh, Kenny Wallace is just Rusty Wallace's little brother. That's all I'll ever be. He was a no one." I'm like, whoa, okay, this is going too far.
I didn't even hear about that. I don't pay attention to Twitter as much as
It was
anybody
nuts.
else
It was
does,
nuts,
so
man.
But yeah, maybe when you say you're gonna boycott somewhere, don't show up with the hot
Boycott it.
pass.
Yeah, exactly. Don't show up.
I do want to say on the concession conversation, I just want to mention this because this is not just a Nashville Superspeedway issue. There were reports from people saying that certain concession areas were running out of water and things early on in the race. And I've seen it firsthand at Bristol. I've seen long lines at Texas last year. You know, I blame COVID for some of it. I think when race capacities were heavily limited, I think tracks were forced to limit their staff and limit their operations significantly. And I think maybe in some cases they just underestimated the fans, how many fans were going to be there and stuff like that. So, you know, maybe it's just a COVID thing and we'll slowly start to get better. But I got to say that tracks need to get on their game again, because we constantly on this show, on every show, brag about how amazing going to NASCAR races are, how that's how you win fans, because it's a once in a lifetime. That's an incredible experience. There's nothing else like that. The rumble of the cars, the laid back atmosphere, like there's nothing like it. If you're one, not going to let people bring in coolers, and then two, aren't going to have enough drinks for people to willingly buy in the summer, that's a problem. That's an absolute,
I just
that's a
find it
mess.
hard to believe that they actually did run out, because I know at one point, I think it was going into the Xfinity race, Claudia pointed over to me and said, look, and behind the main grandstands area, we saw what looked to be a 20-foot high stack of water, like big pallets of water. And I swear it looked like they would have been like maybe, I don't know, 10 feet by 10 feet, about 20 feet high. I'm like, surely they're not going to run out of water this weekend. And I heard reports they did. I'm like, how did they run out?
And it wasn't like they ran out at these places like 200 laps in. Like if it that is normal for NASCAR races. It's okay. There's like 50 to go. We're out of certain things. Like that's justifiable. But the fact that, you know, I mean, people can see I'm a bit red, and I did my best to stay out of the sun most of the weekend that I could. But the fact that when it is out, when it is, you know, and Darian will probably laugh seeing how it's been like 120 freaking degrees out in Vegas, but when it's 90, 95 degrees with a heat index of 110 and you're in stands with no cover until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it's just flat out dangerous not to let people bring in their own water, at least a little bit, and then to not have enough. And on top of that, let's be real, all these tracks charge way more than these things are worth. When I was in COTA, I got a water bottle like this, and one water bottle. Again, I bought a 24-pack for $3. One water bottle, $6. I mean, NASCAR fans aren't exactly made out of money either. So it's like...
We're not.
Shh, don't say
By
anything.
the way, it's also 86 degrees out here, so it's actually nice today.
God, it's
wow,
warmer.
what the heck?
It's warmer here.
Yeah,
whoa,
so it's nice today, but it'll be back up to 100 tomorrow.
Anyway, it's just there needs to be something figured out yesterday about this. This isn't something like I get that there's a bit of a like, you know, growing pains coming out of the COVID stuff and bringing back full crowds again. But if you're going to bring back full crowds, you need to have the necessary resources to accommodate a full crowd, especially a crowd of only 40,000. I say only, but when you compare it to tracks, you know, like Talladega later in the year is going to probably sell out and have 88,000 people there. Daytona is going to probably have over 100,000 people there. And if they can accommodate those crowds, fine, which a lot of times those two tracks are a lot better with it. There is no reason that a track that is on the lower end of the attendance scale should be having these problems. Again, I think they'll figure it out. I really do. I think that everything will be ironed out by next year. I do put some of this on it being a brand new crew, brand new track. Everything's brand new. I get that. And let's be real. Eric Moses said on this show that they were preparing for it to be a COVID protocol race.
That's what I was thinking.
That was one thing too.
They didn't know they were going to get full capacity until
I was just about to allude to that. Allude to that. So like basically it was, it came, on such short notice too. And also he had stated earlier in the weekend that they would have done way more advertising in downtown Nashville had they known they were going to, host, full capacity many months in advance. So I really think the sky's the limit for them over there, really, in the next few years. I mean, they have basically 3 guaranteed seasons to keep raising the prestige of that event. And, when it comes time to contract, renewal times, trying to get the track back on the schedule, having the fairgrounds back, during that time span too, that would be perfect, to have those 2 tracks in that Nashville market. Be really perfect for the future.
Well, moving back more towards the racing side of things, like Darian talked about earlier, we actually have a bit of a battle for the playoffs.
Hey, we have a battle. We have a playoff battle, y'all. Finally. It's not minus 60 points behind now.
I'm not going to read off Hamlin and stuff. Like, it's going to take a miracle for
although
Hamlin to make it.
Do we know how far back Larson is now? Because he can't be far. 10 points behind him. Dang, it felt like it was a foregone conclusion that this was Danny's regular season.
Yeah, never mind.
And then Larson went Jeff Gordon mode on him, and it's all but over now in Larson's favor.
Larson was like, "Hold my beer, please. Here I go.
Hold my Valvoline."
Well,
that was also Valvoline's first NASCAR win since Benson, 2002.
And was this Larson's first race this year with an official non-Hendrick sponsor? Like I know Nation's Guard is technically Hendrick.
I think Valvoline is the sponsor of them.
Oh, it's Charlotte.
Oh yeah, Charlotte. He had I don't remember I honestly don't remember who it was.
That company, it was like first place finish was on the hood, and I know that product. It's actually something that's like it's. When I was in car sales, like my finance guys, I used to factor that stuff into like the package deal when you're buying a car or something like that. So it is something with car dealerships. I think it came from Rick's connections, but I don't necessarily think it was Rick sponsoring it and just slapping a logo on there.
By the way, we're thank you to all those that are giving super chats. We'll read those after the lightning round. But going towards the playoff outlook with 9 races left until the cutoff. I don't know what's going on in the back, but there's something hitting the door. Probably the puppy. So Tyler Reddick is 15th plus 49. Chris Buescher is in the final spot plus 24 over 17th. Who is Kurt Busch? Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Eric, I think you talked about him earlier, how they're thinking that they can still make it by points. They're minus 43 right now. Matt Benedetto is 19th now, minus 46. And Chastain has now climbed his way up to only minus 50 from the playoff bubble in 20th right now. I got to ask, of all the people below the line right now, which one do you see jumping in? Kurt Busch, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Matt Benedetto, Ross Chastain. Danny, start us off with that one.
Honestly, I gotta go with Ricky Stenhouse on this one. Ricky has got a few tracks that would be coming up that's going to be good for him. He's good on the super speedways, but just seeing how he ran this weekend, it's not seeming like the old Ricky Stenhouse, and he's definitely a driver that I could see getting himself where he needs to be to get himself into the playoffs, even from that far behind out of that group right there. I mean, yeah, Kurt Busch too as well, but I after this weekend, I got a lot more faith in Ricky Stenhouse.
Ross Chastain really showed me something this weekend. I mean, for the past couple of years, we've been hyping up Ross Chastain. Oh, he just needs a Cup Series ride, needs an opportunity. Finally has the opportunity, but it's like Ganassi is just, they're kind of meh, But like now they're starting to find some speed. And he really showed me a lot this weekend too, running consistently inside the top 10, able to make his way inside the top 5 towards the end there. He's how many points behind again? Like you said, minus 50 at the moment.
Chastain minus 50.
Okay, yeah, so minus 50. So it'll take a long ways, but you still have to remember we have Daytona, as the season finale. So I mean, anything goes there. But by the time we reach Daytona, could Chastain, shorten that gap to, let's say, minus 30, minus 25 or something like that, or minus 10 maybe, But I mean, he has to remain really consistent from here on out, though. That's the thing.
Ross Chastain's 50 points back, but I was just pulling up his recent stats to confirm this. But I'm going with him. He's the only one of those four you named that's trending the right direction right now. I mean, I have a lot of faith in Kurt Busch. He's a veteran champion and he's in the same equipment as Chastain. But Chastain, his last, I don't know how many finishes, 14th, 15th, 15th, 4th. He wrecked at Charlotte, blew an engine at Charlotte and didn't even wreck. 7th at Sonoma and 2nd at Nashville.
Yeah.
So 2 top 5s, 3 top 10s in the last 4 races. I'm going with Ross Chastain. He's showing in the last month or two what we saw in Xfinity when he was in a Ganassi car there. So I really like what I'm seeing from Ross Chastain. You know, he's young, not a lot of experience, could easily flame out. This could be a fluke, but he's the only one of those guys who's consistently trending the right direction.
Well, and here's something else to think about.
Not only that, Eric, let's talk about Ross Chastain. He has won at Pocono, where we're going to in the past in the truck series.
Yeah.
And not only that, you can recall when Kenseth was in the 42 at a similar track, Indianapolis, they ran really, really good at that. So obviously we don't run the Indianapolis configuration the same way anymore, but this is going to be one that's going to be kind of close for that 42 team. Have some good notes from that race and might even spell well for him this weekend.
Well, one thing I want to keep in everyone's mind, both in here and in the chat right now, is that I said 9 races left to the playoffs. With the doubleheader, I know that this is an obvious thing, but it's hard to believe after this weekend there's only 7 races left before the playoffs, 6 before Daytona. So, like, I think that a lot, like, time is running out for a lot of these guys to start making up ground. The amount of points you're going to have to make up per race is just going to continuously grow if you don't start doing what Ross Chastain is doing right now and trend in the right direction. You know, like 24 points back or 46 points back, for instance, would be like, I think it's like gaining about 5 to 6 points a race right now. After this weekend, if you're 50 points back, now you have to gain 8 points a race, which is a lot harder for a team that's not running consistently. So I really think that, you know, after this weekend, I think we're going to see a bit more clarity towards like who really could start making more of a run, because after this there's what, Road America, Atlanta, New Hampshire, Watkins Glen, the Indy Road Course, Michigan. That's left. That's all that's left after this weekend before Daytona. And man, I gotta say that's it's gonna heat up a lot quicker. I will say that's one thing I really, really like outside of the other stuff that people talk about with the Pocono doubleheader, is that stuff it speeds up the season at that point. And you don't realize like how little of the regular season is left before the playoffs. Like we now have less regular season races left than playoff races this year.
Man, yeah, season's going by, man. But yeah, I mean, to your point, I mean, Chastain, he's the only guy right now who's consistently, you know, week in, week out now, the past couple of weeks, consistently running inside the top 10, accumulating those stage points. Now, I mean, as far as like a dark horse, like, you know, that's below this like cut line we're talking about, the only one I could really see, you know, pulling some miracle upset win maybe would maybe a Suarez or an Almirola at Daytona for
Eric Jones at Daytona.
Yeah, you know, one of those guys. I mean, just because Daytona, I mean, it's like, props to NASCAR for doing that. I mean, like, you know, I've talked about, you know, how I'd rather prefer, you know, just regular points, yada, yada, yada. But if we're going to do this whole playoff style thing, then yeah, having Daytona as that regular season finale brings the entertainment.
Last year made for a very entertaining race because you didn't know if Byron was going to make it in.
You didn't. So yeah,
make it in Benedetto. You didn't know who was going to make it into that one. So
exactly. So
that one did exactly what it's supposed to. And I've been saying it's been leading up forever for Almirola to win that race.
Yeah, like this season's regular season finale is leading up to something big. I have a feeling, I don't know whether it'd be a Suarez win, an Almirola win, or like there's going to be some type of upset win in that race. I feel
it's going to be Kyle Larson.
Well, I know. All this hype that Larson wins that race.
Well, I do gotta say that is definitely his kryptonite of super favorite race.
It would still be kind of an underdog win if Larson wins at Daytona.
Oh yeah, he's not really good on super speed.
Well, honestly, I'm thinking about who was kind of one of the more faster cars in Daytona earlier.
Oh, wait, hold up. This was technically Larson's first ever super speedway win. Oh yeah, remember.
Oh, Jesus.
Because
All right. We need to move on. Really quick, let's get through this really quick. Ratings for this weekend: 1.46 rating with 2.6 million viewers, which was higher than the Chicagoland race in 2018 that started NBC's season.
I think it was 19.
They said 18.
Oh, I thought it said 19. Whoops.
Yeah, because 19 was the rainout. Chicagoland.
So you would know. I don't remember. Chicagoland races all run together.
But I think they said it was the highest start to a season on NBCSN since 2017. So
That's what it is. Cool.
Good stuff.
Yeah. No, great numbers.
Good numbers for the race, yeah.
Motorsports across the board has been trending up this week. I'll just read really quick so we don't have to go through it later. 1.1 million viewers for the Xfinity race, and on top of that, 536,000 for the truck race, both of which are a lot higher than this point last year. So good stuff there. And then, Darian, what do we got to look at right now? What's that last thing we got to look at for the Cup race?
The poll, the famous Iceberg poll. Do we have a new poll record this week or no?
Actually, no idea. I haven't looked since Sunday night.
Oh man.
Moment of truth.
Let's see.
No, we were pretty far off. We had 15,500 votes. 23% of you thought this was a great race. 54% of you thought that this was a good race. 17 said it was average. 4 said below average, and three of you said it was a bad race. So that means that 76% of you had 77% of you had a net positive reaction, and 7% had a net negative. Read a few of these comments, and we'll get to the last one. I want you guys to I know you're going to pick negative anyway, but just say what you're going to pick when it, whatever.
I mean, all we gotta know is the name. So
yeah, I got to scroll down to it. But the top comment was, "Bruh, I'm a pigeon." That's topical.
Congratulations.
That's topical after Slap's little. Nice
Oh yeah,
drama.
I like that. I love that thread. I love that thread, Slap.
He says, every time a commenter says, "I just don't think it'll go green to the end," it goes green to the end. I'm assuming that's what they said this past week. By the way, I like NBC Sports' new theme for their NASCAR broadcast. It's definitely.
I didn't hear it.
I heard like a little bit of it when NASCAR re-upload the race, and it's like it's kind of reminds me a bit of the F1 theme that they use for their broadcast.
Oh, really? I didn't even hear it. Yeah, I gotta hear this.
It's
Darren, you make the best faces. I look over.
Hey, I heard F1. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah.
Caveman SpongeBob meme.
It's all right. Eric and Darian will get this one inside joke here. It wouldn't be anything compared to my face in the media center the other day. We'll just keep that between the three of us. Carnation says, we can start calling Kyle Larson Mr. June. Or can we start calling Kyle Larson Mr. June?
Might as well call him Mr. Summertime,
Junebug. You can call him Junebug.
I'm just going to call him Mr. Race Car Driver because he wins everywhere, anytime.
Hello, Mr. NASCAR.
Mr. Worldwide. Oh, wait, no, that's already taken.
Mr. Worldwide. We shook his hand, by the way. We shook Mr. Worldwide's hand this week.
He's pretty cool.
He's funny.
It threw me back in the media center when they were interviewing him, and people was referring to his first name. Like, oh yeah, I forgot he had a first name.
He actually has a name. I forgot about that.
Yeah. It's like, who's Armando? Oh, wait a minute.
By the way, I know that we're not at right now, but lick that like button. We hit 420 viewers. Nice.
Lick the like button.
Let her in, says Larson. Yippee! Nashville is now my property. So, there's just it's Larson. Let's see if we can find one that's not Larson. As a dump truck is right outside of Darian's back door.
Oh, y'all can still hear that? Oh my gosh, freaking ridiculous!
Yeah.
Watch yourself, Jared. That sounded wild.
Back that dump truck up, Darian.
You said there's a dump truck at Darian's back door.
Hey, Eric, Jared sounding down bad again.
I'm sounding like Eric sounded last Wednesday night.
I'm too tired for that this week.
Rick Allen says, "I'm the greatest commentator to walk this planet, Earth." That's an odd way to write it.
Humble.
That was the actual Rick Allen who said that. I know it.
It's you mean Alan Bestwick?
Oh, here's a member of the channel, Philip Richards. Thank you for that, by the way. Very important that Larson won with an actual real sponsor this time. Good point.
That was one of the better Valvoline games I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah,
it was. Justin, I'm just going to call you Justin because I can't read the second part. Great race. So happy NBC is back.
Yes, and that was one thing I was noticing in the media center too. The seriousness of the Cup Series broadcast is back again. NASCAR on Fox. Oh, hey, we're just out on a good old Sunday drive here. But no, we're serious again.
There's literally 5 comments in a row, and they're all the same from different accounts. Larson is unstoppable. Now watch, they say this, he'll like blow his engine first lap of the race this week. Let's see.
But yeah, I'm happy NBC's back though.
Ranting Renegade says, great race, terrible finish. I guess that's
sure.
All right. Sure. We have the last comment from Wyatt O'Quinn, number 5. I need to actually read it first, so you all guess while I read it before I read it aloud.
I will guess positive this week.
I think it's going to be positive.
Yeah, it was a good weekend. Positive.
I'm going to say negative.
All right. Okay, I'll read it now. It's
positive.
It can be put on there. I'm a Larson fan. Let's get that straight. But I hate the 750 package. That was a lackluster race. I was straight up bored watching this race. Don't understand why you all like this package.
That's negative.
Because it's for real racing. That's why I love this package. Oh, Eric. Well, Eric certainly doesn't love this package. I don't think. Eric, you all right?
Oh gosh!
Oh God, Eric, the lights!
Oh, what the heck? Whoa!
Don't go into the light.
He looks whiter than I looked before the weekend.
He became God.
I just put my screen down because I couldn't believe that comment. Why am I this bright? That's cool.
Eric, God, Estepp, everybody.
Wow. It's fixing itself.
There you go. Slowly.
No,
so
I can't see. Now, I just got onto the live part of the stream right now, so we're gonna see like the chat go nuts about it. But yeah, thank you all for voting. Either way, even though we didn't break a record, still pretty awesome to see so many people come out and vote. So thank you all. I think we can go through like in about 5 minutes here. We can go through the 2 races before it. The Xfinity race, while it had a lot going on, there really weren't too many talking points from it aside from Kyle Busch wins his 100th Xfinity win and
he's gonna retire now. No, he's not. Psych.
Well,
I think he is.
He
might.
I
think he is going to retire after this year. I think he's going to do 2 more races, and I think he's done.
Okay, so 2 more and he's done.
I listened to him in the media center during his post-race interview for the Xfinity race.
He's so funny.
He did legitimately talk like, he didn't know if there was any need for the marketing team to sell races for him next year in Xfinity. So he talked like as of now, those have not been confirmed to be anything sold. But it could just be something he's trying to throw up and smoke with the media to get him off his case for that for a little bit.
He's funny though. I hadn't heard him in the media center in a while. Oh my gosh, that dude is.
I've been saying it all year. Like I've been saying it. It's like he's probably one of the funniest people in the media center.
Hey, he even blamed Matt Kenseth. He was like, he was talking about his nearly winning his Xfinity Series debut, Eric, and he was talking about like, dang Kenseth, those dang Cup drivers. He took away my Xfinity win. Basically, when I wasn't running in Cup at the time. It's just stuff like that. It's just funny. And then, he was also talking about Rowdy Energy and all that stuff. And then like he was straight up about his Cup Series performance too. Like, yeah, we're going to suck tomorrow. And he was right. I thought he was going to do good.
He ran well. I think something might have broke. Like, chat, you might have to correct us here. Did something break on the car?
Well, no, he was freaking complaining all day on the radio though. I was scrolling up. He was so angry.
How terrible their front ends are. He said, our front ends suck. Our fronts suck.
I mean, that wasn't unique at all. Like, I mean, every driver we talked to in the garage said we're plowing in 1 and 2. And
some could be plowing worse than others.
But Kyle Busch's car, it was killed. As he would say, it was killed. It was dead.
Killed. We're done.
Kyle Busch's car is killed if it hits like the Hornet that's in my garage.
It's kind of like I feel like Kyle Busch
bug on the windshield. It's killed.
Kyle Busch feels like he's having a bad day if he's running fixed. So.
Yeah. So that's kind of similar to like in F1, Lewis Hamilton's tires are like dead every like 5 or 10 laps. Like, dude, they're not really dead. They're just really worn. Just keep driving. You know what I mean? So it's kind of similar to that.
And then the other thing about the Xfinity race I wanted to talk about is the fact that Josh Berry made a hell of a comeback at the end.
In front of the hometown crowd.
That damn caution coming towards the end. Dang it though. But you know what though? Still, that was an awesome finish by him though. It was good to see him run well.
Talking about the truck race, we talked about Ryan Preece getting his first win, but I wanted to talk really quick about the playoff outlook for that because a lot of people, myself included, probably don't or didn't realize this until looking. There's only 3 races left until the Truck Series playoffs.
It's really close.
Yeah.
And right now, the cutoff line, there's 3 drivers close up top, 3 drivers below. Stuart Friesen plus 53, Carson Hocevar plus 30, Chandler Smith plus 15.
Carson.
Hocevar's 30 points.
He's good. He's
Wow.
good. I told you he's the real deal. He's the real
Him
deal.
for being there in a nice truck. Like, I think a lot of people realize that Ross proved his talent by doing as good as they did in a nice truck. Like, they're not the greatest in the world out there.
Well, they don't have the alliance they used to have anymore.
Man, he's still running well though. So Carson Hocevar, man, I told y'all, that's an
Like
NASCAR
Chastain ran 20th this weekend in a niche truck. So they're just not that good anymore.
I mean, you can look at that. Johnny Sauter is on the outside looking in. This is has he won a championship 1 or 2 times now in his career?
I can't remember off the top.
Once, I believe,
He's won
just
at least
once.
1 championship, and
20
a contender for wins all his career basically in the truck series, and there he is on the outside looking in. So
Yeah, he's minus 15. Austin Wayne Self minus 41. And then Tyler Ankrum has surprised me this series. Minus 46 points.
Yeah,
with 3 races left.
he hasn't gotten with it this year. It just has not.
he hasn't
been
really
right.
been. He hasn't been as good since he left Gilliland's team, honestly.
Hey, GMS hasn't been that good this year, quite honestly. Does Sheldon Creed he has 1 win this year, right? Or
Darlington.
just
Yeah,
one? I think he's
Darlington.
their only win GMS has. And they've got Zane Smith, who won last year, Chase Purdy. I think they lost Brett Moffitt, man, and I think that hurts your team. Brett Moffitt was really good.
No.
Yeah, that whole situation ended very bad.
Of any of the 3 outside, do you see any of them jumping in, or if, like, for instance, like Sauter, like who would they replace?
Where's Deegan?
Where's
Deegan?
and also where's Kraus too? Where is he?
De-
at?
Derek Kraus
Deegan's
can't
like
finish a race.
17th in points. I think she's like 90
Whoa.
out right now.
She's gonna win them out. I'll win all of them. She's gonna win Knoxville.
I'll be there for that one.
Maybe. Hey, actually, when you see how she did in SRX, she might.
Hey,
She,
might win
she
the
sucked
dirt,
at she sucked at Bristol Dirt though. I'm not betting on anything.
Nah, me either.
Yeah.
It's a very different track, though. It's a flat dirt track, not a high bank one.
That's true.
But we got one more story here before we get to mailbag and lightning round here. We learned about this while we were tailgating. Colleague Racing is going to Cup in 2022 with 2
We knew
charters.
that already.
With 2 charters, though. We didn't know
Yeah.
that.
No.
We did not know that. Justin Haley is going to be a multi-year signed driver. AJ Allmendinger is going to be in the second car for select races. That might just be like a plug-and-play car. And then we also know about GMS starting a Cup Series program. They don't know if they're full or part-time yet. So I want to start off like, how do you think these teams are going to run next year? Because Colleague, every time they've been in Cup, has run well this year.
I'm very intrigued by Colleague. We've seen the performances on the super speedways from them this year, especially Talladega, scoring the team's first ever top
Not just
10.
the super speedways. I mean, they were up front at COTA too.
Yeah, then at COTA as well too. So they've proven they can adapt anywhere.
If they're gonna put out a car, they're not putting out trash. Colleague's putting out something that's gonna be good.
No,
they're working closely with RCR. I mean, it's the same thing with the Trackhouse. We've seen them run top 10.
Yeah, what is up with this RCR alliance? It seems like you just have this alliance with RCR, and then boom, you're just automatically competitive out of the game.
I mean, they're not winning a championship, but they're
no, but you're
run
competitive
15.
though. Yeah, you're
I want
really
to get
good.
y'all's opinion. Justin Haley's full time, and Allmendinger will probably at least have all the road courses, maybe a few other ones. What other drivers would you guys want to see in that other car?
Josh Berry, without a doubt. I think he has proved so far this year he's one of the most deserving drivers to get a real shot. I want to see him in a few races next year.
So maybe
I want to see
maybe like Martinsville and Bristol, the short tracks with Josh Berry.
Yeah.
Did they say Kaz Grau is going to be involved in this whole rotation
He
next
was
year?
not mentioned. I don't.
No, I don't think they know yet.
But I think he'll be in there.
Yeah, he'll be in the fold.
I can see Kaz Gralla being a likely candidate for the 11 car in Xfinity, honestly.
I think he might be in the road courses that Allmendinger can't make. Like, for instance, when they're in Sonoma and, like, Xfinity is in mid-Ohio. Like, I could see Kaz Gralla being the driver for that, maybe. But, man, I mean, it's really left wide open right now. Eric, what do you think, man?
I don't know who gets that ride or who really fills it. I mean, I predicted Allmendinger would get a full-time colleague ride. I figured Justin Haley would also get a lot of consideration, but I did not expect, what I want to focus on here is I didn't expect them to buy 2 charters.
Yeah.
Both from
That
Spire.
was surprising.
So Spire owned 3 charters last year. They used one for Corey LaJoy. They're going to keep that one next year and continue to run Corey LaJoy full-time. They've got one for the 77 car that is going away now. I assume they're not going to run the 77 next year, maybe part-time, non-chartered, and then their 3rd charter was on lease to Trackhouse. So Trackhouse now for sure does not have a charter next season as of now. They are either going to run unchartered or they're going to run they're going to buy a charter somewhere. And Justin Marks said this weekend that they are going to race next season. So presumably they're looking for a charter, and
they will get one. There's no way that team will not have one next year.
You say that, but
there's a demand.
Hey, you never know.
I mean, we saw the report. I don't remember if we talked about it on the podcast last week, but there's the report from Adam Stern that some teams, like Rick Ware Racing's, I'm sure, perhaps even Spire in this case, are selling their charters or putting a price tag of over $10 million per charter.
Yeah, and
So
Rick Ware, they know what they're doing.
I listened to a bit of Door Bumper Clear this week. There was a clip that came up. I'll be real, I clicked on it because I thought it was a Dale Jr. download, and I didn't realize it wasn't. But I did learn something out of it. Is that like right now it seems like the minimum asking price, like some are asking for 10, but the minimum right now that a lot of teams are asking for charters is upwards of over $6 million.
Whew. Damn.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a lot of money.
So I'm just saying, and that's even, keep in mind that if say Rick Ware Racing says, all right, here, we have this charter right here. Who wants it? What are you going to give me for it? Trackhouse? We'll give you $6 million. Okay. Michael Jordan, what will you give me? $7 million. Dale Jr.? We'll do $8 million. It's going to drive that price up.
There's a bit of a wild card in here that I heard this week is Petty basically said that they're willing to give up their charter to somebody if they continue the Petty name on it. Now, I don't think that somebody it was a really weird stipulation, and I'm like, I don't see anybody doing that.
No.
Well, Petty has 1.5 charters. They have one for the 43, and then they sort of split one, right, with Rick Ware.
Wait, 1.5? I didn't know you could have half a charter.
One of Rick Ware's cars run on a Petty Ware charter is what it's called, or Petty Ware Racing or something is what it's called.
I'm pulling up J-Ski on my phone right now. They have the list of charters. They're the only ones, even NASCAR's main website does not have the list of charters readily accessible. So let me pull that up right now.
Now for GMS though, who would y'all see taking that cup ride, or anybody from the whole driver's edge program they have going on for themselves, or
I don't know who would be, unless Sheldon Creed continues to have funding. Maybe Sheldon Creed. I don't think Zane Smith is ready.
It'd just be a big mix of drivers. It might be the most random drivers you can think of. How in the truck series, James Busher randomly showed up for them, or was that Nice? No, it was Nice. Never mind. I don't know. Got confused.
I think what GMS is probably going to do is maybe they'll just filter out their Cup Series ride their first year through their whole driver's edge program. So maybe you might see Creed in one race and then Smith in another. Maybe you might see Gregson. They might do, perhaps do that. As far as somebody full time, I don't know. Nobody really comes to mind. I mean, maybe Brett Moffitt because he's driven for them before in the Truck Series.
Oh no, that relationship ended.
That's what I'm saying. So I can't really think of anybody else. But
I would be shocked if they buy the charter and then don't put a driver in there to run for points, because you split it up between a bunch of drivers. You're not getting driver points. You're only getting owners points, and there's just right. I just feel like you'd want somebody that you believe can run full time, and Zane Smith could do it. Noah Gragson could do it. I don't think either driver should be their first choice. Even Sheldon Creed, I think he could do it. He wouldn't be a total disaster probably, but I don't know that it's the best bet. All those edge drivers, some of them have a little bit of funding for sure, but I don't think any of them are surefire, fully funded rides. I think honestly, Creed may be the closest. Sam Mayer's a part of that deal, but I don't see Sam Mayer.
He's making his Xfinity.
Yeah, runs half an Xfinity schedule at 18 and then goes straight to Cup. I don't see that happening. But so I really don't. The GMS one is interesting, and we'll be curious to see if they can even get a charter. If they don't get a charter, if they do just end up running 10 races next year, okay, then mix it up. Throw one driver here, one driver there. So
you're right. It was 51 is Petty Ware Racing charter.
Wow.
I don't exactly know the business of it, but it is split.
I had no clue you could share charters like that.
It's weird. There needs to be clarification for the fans, because I understand where it's going. I know they did say Live Fast. They said we are not selling it. We're keeping ours. I don't
And,
know.
and remember, colleagues said if they could, they'd buy 4 charters.
Yeah.
So they may still be buying. Who knows?
Yeah.
Probably not, but they could still be
The
buying.
free market. You gotta love the free market.
I don't know if Trackhouse gets one back with 2311 and possibly JRM in the fold too
And GMS and
GMS. Yeah, I mean,
I'm looking to buy a charter, but I'm going to need to like get some investors on that.
Yeah, need the groovy charter. Need the
Danny, I heard Shugs tell me he's going to buy a charter if one becomes available.
How about this?
Everyone
How about
and
this?
Mother's buying a charter.
Let's pull in.
Tell me he's got Meow Mix lined up. They're ready to go.
Oh
Hey,
shoot!
guys.
Shugs is the face of the sport.
Let's
He's the new digger.
Let's pull our money together. I got $6 US and
Let's
$5
see.
Canadian here.
I've got this Amazon.
I got
USB
11.
mouse.
I got $11 on me at the moment.
I think I bought this for
All
$10
right.
on Amazon.
All right,
I got 11.
so we had 10 and 11 and 6. So right now we got $27 and then we also have $5 Canadian.
Let's see,
So-
and then I'll max out this one credit card right here. We'll do that.
All right,
and
so
then
we got
put this on the line.
I'm like I don't know, like 127. I don't know.
I'll take about 200 from my Venmo debit card too.
All right, good. I'll take about I'll take
I'll sell all my my Bitcoin for 2 cents.
You know what? We'll just not pay attention to the rule book. We'll just show up with that car behind Jared, and we'll slap a number on it. We'll be ready to go.
Hey,
it'll be like a real life version of Herbie Fully Loaded.
I was gonna say if Herbie the Love Bug could get into a race, could get on an entry list, I think I can just.
Oh
find
yeah,
something
let's get Maggie Payton back in the Cup Series. Get Maggie Payton back in the Cup Series.
What was up with NASCAR's rule book just randomly saying, "Oh yeah, well, sure, this 50s model bug, bring it in."
Yeah,
Absolutely. Oh, and it won the race. Good luck passing inspection with that one. But
Yeah, man.
Like this team was a Chevy Monte Carlo team, and I guess they didn't have a backup car. It's like, yeah, you can enter that Volkswagen in here. This is fine.
dude, Herbie
Right.
Fully Loaded was my guilty pleasure movie as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Someone super chat 10 million. I see that in the comments.
Hey, we'll buy a freaking team
yeah.
out of the group racing immediately if that happens.
If someone did that, we totally would do that.
It's like you get the $10 million super chat from Rick Ware. Hey, send us back to me, bro.
Yeah. So anyway, well, we got one more thing here before we hit the lightning round, and it's the mailbag question this week. So this is from, and I'm going to read every damn number here. If you have the itinerary up, you'll see what I'm talking about. From Force Fan 1215222.
Oh, I know him!
Or 742.
From Twitter. Hi. What's up?
So-
Is that his phone number? It looks like a
Nope,
phone
that's
number.
his Twitter handle. I know him, man. He tags me and everything. How's it going, bro? It's good to see you on the mailbag question.
Yes. So he asks, my question to all of you is, what is the most bizarre glitch you have experienced in a NASCAR game? I know that Jared had the weird glitch at Michigan on NASCAR Heat 3. Darian, start us off, because that actually, I didn't really experience that one. I saw that one.
So there's been a ton of glitches. I'm trying to think of there's probably something more recent from Nascar Heat, but there's so many glitches on there, so it's not even funny, as funny, I guess.
I know a glitch. It's not technically NASCAR Heat, but it was a glitch I had happen to me on the SRX game a couple weeks ago where I think I was at Slinger and I don't know. It was online. Somehow big crash happened. I ended up surfing above a pack of cars, and then when I hit the catch fence, my car just wedged into it at a 90-degree angle. It was just stuck on the catch fence. It was glued to it. And I would turn the wheels and I couldn't go anywhere. I could look all around, but the car was just wedged into it didn't make any sense. It was intense. It got a good view of the or surrounding area of the track.
So I can tell y'all this glitch last night. So in F1, it's not from a NASCAR game, but it's from a racing game. So in F1 2020, I'm doing my little career mode thing, right? I'm on season 8, right? Okay, Max Verstappen just won the championship, his 4th in a row with Red Bull, okay, in my little thing, right? And he ends up going to Alfa Romeo after the season, for a much worser team, a backmarker team.
That's a pretty bad glitch.
Yeah, so these driver moves and the F1 games are pretty bad sometimes. But I guess for NASCAR Heat, it's if you especially on Heat 3, if you would just touch somebody, you just go spinning and glitching all over the place. So I guess the NASCAR Heat series is very glitchy in general. So
I will say the NASCAR, the game, the Technic series, that one was full full of insane glitches.
That
I'm actually watching back this video, NASCAR 14, every glitch in a game, posted by a NASCAR gamer on YouTube. Watch that one when you get a chance. That'll give you an idea of what kind of glitches this series was responsible for. I know I would have several online races where it would be like the race will start, but my car is flipping down the straightaway just in a race just started. The wheels would disappear a lot of times. You would barely hit a wall and go flying. I remember one time I was in Kevin Conway's Extends car, and I went like 180 feet in the air over Talladega. It was like, what the heck?
All right, I just remembered an actual like glitch from a NASCAR game. The NASCAR Heat Evolution game, when you pause the game enough, rapid pause, you keep flying through the field. That was, I couldn't. As soon as I did that, I took the game back. I'm like, I'm not playing.
I saw Drive-Thru's live stream of that because I'd never played that game. And he's like, wait, is this real? And he just started doing it. He goes, oh my God, this is real. No, mine's an old one. I know everyone wants me to beat up on the Heat series, but I think I've done that enough over time. This one is from the old Thunder games. I don't know what the hell caused it. I don't know what it was, but there'd just be random times, and it always happened either at Chicagoland or Kansas, where the field, they do the parade laps. It'd be like, in row 1, you have Dale Jr. and Ryan Newman. No, like, they'd start crashing each other before the race started.
I saw Winval's video on that.
They keep the damage when the race starts.
Yes. So it goes back to normal, and they're like, oh, my car's fine after you've just been flipping in a 40-car big one. And then you start the race, and it's like, your engine has expired. Or
just DNF,
and you had nothing to do with it.
0 laps. Basically.
So for those of you who say I'm overly nostalgic and think nothing bad of those games, haha.
They were flawed too.
But
no, it's funny.
That was a good question. I like those oddball questions. So I put it in the chat earlier, weeklypodcastguest@gmail.com. Send in your questions. I usually, when I'm in there, I usually go through like right after the podcast and start reading through them. So like the quicker the better. Doesn't mean you shouldn't send some in anyway. Like if you have a really good question, send it on in. We love
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to send it in.
Yeah. So weeklypodcastguest@gmail.com. All lowercase letters, one word. Just don't ask to be a guest. We're not going to let you. And
please don't. Please don't.
You will be ignored. So really quick, before we go on, we do have to thank our first sponsor for the night, and that is Lionel. That is who is bringing us tonight the lightning round. You can order any of your favorite 2021 NASCAR diecast, whether it be Noah Gragson, whether it be Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott. I know I'm listening to a lot of Chevy drivers. You can get any of them wherever NASCAR diecasts are sold, whether it be at Walmart, at Target, wherever. We just want to thank Lionel for supporting the NASCAR Weekly Podcast and the Out of the Groove Podcast Network. Guys, what diecast do we have tonight?
I found the Nesquik scheme, guys. Let's go.
I figured this would be fitting since he is leaving the Fox booth and going to focus more on Hendrick. We have Jeff Gordon just left probably his worst job ever, and we're going to showcase his worst car ever, the 2008 car.
Guys, like we were at the 10 vendors this weekend, and I couldn't believe I was feasting my eyes on the Jeff Green's favorite Nesquik scheme, his most famous NASCAR Busch Series scheme. Oh my goodness. He won the freaking championship by 600 points, over 600 points he won in this scheme. It is awesome. It was the final year they ran the Chevy. They switched to Ford after 2001, I believe, with Scott Riggs, and he ran it up until 2003. So if Eric Almirola ever does another throwback, definitely the Nesquik scheme should be the next one for sure.
Eric, I know you did not have that in Tennessee. So where'd you end up buying that?
So because I'm staying in Charlotte, I'm actually staying at a hotel just down the road from the Lionel retail outlet in Concord Mills Mall. So I stopped by there the other day and picked up Matt Kenseth's all-star race car from last year at Bristol. He ran terribly in this race, but in my opinion, this was the best-looking slid-back number scheme on the racetrack.
And you saw it run.
And I did see it race. It was my second to last time watching Matt race in person, so I had to pick it up. It was pretty great.
I have Casey Kane's 2012 5-car, the Farmers Insurance car, and I love the feel of the matte paint, man. I always loved, like, Junior's cars always had it on the back bumpers, but Kane's has it all the way around. I love the feel of it.
2012 car is a very underrated scheme.
It is.
It's nice. It's nice.
And it fits because, well, the 5 car won this week. It's really weird to think this is the last guy before Kyle Larson to drive the 5 car. Like, it's really weird to think about that. But yeah, I got this as part of a really good deal when I went to the tent vendor. So it was a perfectly good Lionel car. But man, I didn't bring a Dale Jr. car. The chat's going, like, I see people, it's a Casey Kane car. Yeah, man. So, what was that? Damn. I heard your mic on your end, Darian. I think the box dropped or something.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, but this is a really underrated scheme. I got this one on top of, like, I think 13 other diecasts I got this past weekend. But yeah, thank you, Lionel, for sponsoring the show. It's really good to have support from just so many in the industry like that, and especially somebody like that.
Got to put batteries in my car once I get home, or stop at like a CVS or something.
You got the light up one too.
Oh yeah.
We had our all-star cars come in the other day, and we got the Bowman one and the Elliott one. The Elliott one we were able to get the batteries in. The Bowman one, unfortunately, we could never get that one to open up. So I don't know if we can get the batteries in that one.
And also, don't forget, if you're at a racetrack for your race weekend at your race facility, make sure to support your tent vendors and go buy as much diecast. Jared, tell them about the deal you got this weekend.
So I wasn't the only one. Yeah, Slap did it too. Got for $100. Yes, we put $100 down. We got 10 diecasts.
Lucky.
You're gonna see a lot of those in the coming weeks. And on top of that, really cool one that I got that I'll probably have on the show at one point during this segment. Dale Earnhardt's race version final win with the little $1 million and the little confetti, and it's just freaking awesome, man. I saw that, and I'm just like, I need to have that.
You all got to remember when you come back to Nashville for the SRX race, there usually is some vendor set up there at the fairgrounds too. So you got to remember that one too.
Yeah, I want to get SRX diecast. Like, I wonder, does Lionel have?
They haven't announced that.
I'm still waiting to hear on that. I'd get one. I'd buy one.
But yes, thank you, Lionel, for your support, and Darian, what's going on, man?
It's the lightning round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. Jarrett, what do we have on tap tonight?
Well, it'd be really good if I had the stuff for the lightning round pulled up, so I better do that really quick.
Pull up the itinerary.
The famous itinerary. Oh, yes.
Famous itinerary.
What's really funny is I actually was like writing half this stuff in the media center over the weekend as it broke.
Yeah, as the weekend went along.
So starting off, NASCAR has reinstated Chase Elliott spotter Eddie DeHaan. All charges were pretty much dismissed. There was no grounds for him being guilty on it.
Yeah.
So again, always wait innocent till proven guilty. Chatter over charters being overvalued. Like I was saying earlier, over $10 million per charter is what some are going for. This was said in the media center with Pitbull in attendance too, but Justin Marks wants to relocate Trackhouse to Nashville if it can go by his plan by 2023. And I think they're building like a party deck.
Yeah, like a little club, a bar and stuff. So we're gonna
see the plans that they actually have. If they made that move, I do have a degree in hospitality and tourism plus all my experience in social media. I'd be very interested to hear to know what kind of career needs they would need over there.
It sounds like they want to be Nashville's like NASCAR team. Like we are Nashville's NASCAR team. So that's
sounds good. I think it sounds good. But something else that sounds good here is Doug Coby will be driving the number 24 for GMS at Bristol this September.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't hear that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was last week. Yeah, that was nuts. So, that's cool.
And then Alex Bowman has been re-signed with Hendrick Motorsports through the 2023 season to match the Ally contract. So good news for Danny. Danny looks like he's ready to fight someone when he did that.
I've never seen Danny look that aggressive.
Someone needs to meme that.
That will end up an out of context podcast.
Yeah. That's a good account. Watkins Glen will be at 100% capacity for the August weekend. They say that people that aren't vaccinated would have to wear a mask, but let's be real. Everyone will just say that they were vaccinated.
Yeah.
Josh Berry will be driving the number 31 for Jordan Anderson this weekend at Pocono. So good to see him.
Question: do you guys think that happens a lot more this season? Do you think he's with him a lot more this season?
I think so. I think so. I think that he's just going to take every ride that comes up, and I think that's perfectly fine for what he's doing in his career. New Orleans Saints running back Alvin Kamara has been signed by NASCAR, as according to the report, the sport's first growth and engagement advisor from an NFL player. So
perfect. It's perfect. Yes, you need an outsider kind of to tell you, hey, this is how we can get more fans.
He was all over the garage and pit road before the race. Like,
he loves it.
Did any of you guys talk to him? Because I didn't.
No, we almost did. We almost did. But there's like
talk to him, but I did walk up and I gave him a fist bump. And I said, "Ball for life," because we both graduated from UT the same year. Actually, used to live in the same building as me. I would ride the elevator.
When I was waiting outside the media center at one point, I did see him go by, and I asked if he could score 5 touchdowns on the Vikings instead of 6 like last time. He said no. Eric Jones will be competing in the 2021 Slinger Nationals, according to Speed 51. I believe the last time he competed in them, he won. So
yeah. Wasn't that that's when Kyle Busch discovered him, correct? I think
he competed. He was in the.
Go for it.
Oh, sorry. He competed in 2018. I do not remember if he won, but I'll look that up. But yeah, it was 2012 at the Snowball, or 2011 Snowball.
Yeah.
He's trying to be like the last guy that got fired from the 20 car and go out and win that one.
Yeah.
And then all races for Michael McDowell are now sponsored for the rest of 2021. Due to the I didn't see, or I did see, but I forgot who the 34 is sponsored by this week and a few other weeks this year. But he is good to go with sponsorship. So I guess all that team now needs to focus on at this point moving forward is how they're going to be doing it in the playoffs, which is so crazy to say. Richmond.
Crazy to say. This next one is really crazy to hear.
Richmond Raceway will be calling their cup race the Salute to American Heroes presented by Toyota in honor of the 20-year anniversary of 9/11, according to Adam Stern. I am going to avoid Twitter when that goes on because no one can.
I already know.
Yeah, no one can have nice things. The final one, I think most people can be happy with, except for like that one person that hates on Eric for saying stuff about Gordon. Jeff Gordon is leaving Fox Sports to be the vice chairman for Hendrick Motorsports, according to Jordan Bianchi. And
Gordon Hendrick Motorsports is about to happen.
Well, Rick Hendrick, I saw he made it a point to say, "I am still healthy. I'm not going anywhere."
He's like, I'm still here, guys.
I'm not dead, guys.
I'm not dead, guys.
But he's got a good backup. See, I just think this is good. Jeff Gordon was not great in the booth. I think they can get someone better. And now Jeff Gordon,
car owner though.
The thing is, Jeff Gordon's a competitor. You know, that's what he always did. And now he doesn't have to pretend to be unbiased. He doesn't have to pretend to like everyone. He can just be unapologetically competitive and just be the Chevy Hendrick guy. And I think that's what his fans. I think deep down, most of his fans want to see him focusing on competing rather than playing TV. I just think that's what I think most fans would prefer, and I think it'll be for the best for everyone, honestly.
Well, and I brought it up before. When I saw him on pit road at Kansas in 2019, he was up on Elliott's box, and then he went down pit road and he was on Jimmy Johnson's, then he went on to Byron's, and then he was on Bowman's.
That's his team.
He was everywhere. He was about as fast as he was on the track, like during his career. He was everywhere down that pit road, like keeping everything in control. Like Hendrick Motorsports is in good hands. Plus, we saw Chad Canals here this weekend. He was all over the place in the garage area. Hendrick is they're set. Their future is pretty much set. Let's just put it that way. You know what else is set? The fact that we just got through the lightning round, Darian.
Finally, I can't even talk. Sorry about that. I tried to say something new. Dang it! I should have just stuck to. I tried to say something new.
Old reliable. Do it again.
So, all right, let's do it again. And once again, that was the lightning round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. And now back to the show.
That'd be like DW saying boogity boogity for everyone and show up and be like, here we go, wallop, wallop, wallop.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of sticking to the script, we do have one other sponsor to thank tonight. You guys know who it is, all of you regular viewers. Forney Industries. Forney offers a full line of welding and plasma cutting machines, metalworking accessories, and a whole lot more. It's great for do-it-yourselfers, or if you're a professional metalworker, Forney has everything you need for your next major project. Be sure to shop all of Forney's top-of-the-line products at forneyend.com. That link is down in the description, or at an authorized Forney dealer near you. Look for the green logo. That's Forney Industries. And that's the chat's blown up with your lightning round outro, Darian. That's funny.
Well, you know what else is green? What I get from super chats. So let's go. Let's go. Let's look at what some of our generous guests have.
I like how I say we're funded by viewers like you, and you're like money.
Money.
We need more money. Anyway, thank you, Spencer5478, for becoming a new member of the Iceberg channel. By the way, nobody has to feel any obligation to do that. If you want to, though, go ahead. All good. I'm really thankful for all of you guys. And you can put some croissants in the chat if you are a member. So thank you. Waiting all week for Cheater Boy Harvick hate.
Oh, okay, here we go. Yep, there we go again.
For $4.99 said, that race is pretty good. Needed harder tires and more fuel racing and higher speeds. Bring 2014. Jesus Christ. With lower downforce option. Boo HDK. Jesus Christ. Miss you, and then he says, sorry. Miss you, Junior.
We should probably like honestly make a note after this week that we're not gonna, if you just like we're booing Harvick, like the meme's funny, but we're not gonna read your whole comment every week. It's just it wastes too much airtime.
Yeah. And there you go. Spencer's in the chat with the croissants. Mrs. Eric Estepp for $4.99 says, "I miss you, honey. Please come home soon."
You don't have to read that one either.
Wow. Damn. Wow.
What? Oh, I don't know. What does it say?
Eric gets the job done. That's all you need to know.
Oh.
Okay, this one will be a serious one because I know this person. Noah C. Cornelius. Thank you for the $5.
Hey,
bud.
Noah.
Hey, Noah.
Says, hey, Eric, long time no see. And hello, NASCAR Wiki Podcast gang. Hope to meet the rest of y'all soon. Yeah, well, I think we'll get a lot of races, so hopefully we can definitely catch up. Urban Alvarado for $9.99 says, five missing lug nuts. If found, call Hendrick Motorsports hotline or the Lebanon Nashville PD. Reward a $50 store credit at Fanatics NASCAR store. Eric Estepp II said another fun one about Eric. So thank you for your money. Platinum.
Now go to sleep.
Platinum. It's even funnier with what the super chat said. Platinum Paradise says, to me, Nashville Superspeedway and the fairgrounds can't coexist. I don't think it's a good idea for one metro to hog 2+ races when others just want one.
No.
I think when it's
I get it.
I think the fact that if you look at anytime you see like the top markets for any NASCAR race on TV, Nashville is always at or very near the top. So I think if any metropolitan area does deserve 2 dates, it's Nashville, especially when you consider that the super speedway's capacity is 40K.
Mm-hmm.
At most, the fairgrounds will be 40K. I think they can fill each venue twice a year.
But we welcome all opinions on the podcast.
And the thing is that like, if it doesn't work out, like we're just gonna find out by who goes to what races and like who watches on TV. Like,
hey, all I know is
find out.
Dover Motorsports expects 2 races. Do you want 2 Dovers or do you want a super speedway race in there as well?
2 super speedway.
I'm saying. Yeah, 2 Nashville super speed. Oh no, don't come on, no, don't do that. Don't do Dover like that.
I won't do Dover dirty like that. They should have one. Smoke Carbon 13. Hey Smoke.
Generous of you.
Sorry I couldn't catch up, man. Yeah, I know. I'm a generous man. For $5. I'm sorry I didn't catch up with you over the weekend, man. But he said Darian ran a full marathon when he met him.
Oh yeah, wait, hold on.
You did.
Wait, who sent
Smoke
the
Carbon?
Smoke. Hey, yeah, I had to run. Yeah, I promised I would meet him, and I finally did. Nice to finally meet you, man.
No, trust me, Darian's most athletic part of the weekend was against me in basketball.
Oh yeah,
that was hard to watch.
I my freaking Waffle House basically.
I ended up being kind of like athletically challenged on the water because you had to survive to not get thrown into the lake. So
yeah.
Hey, we did well. We didn't fall. We didn't fall off.
And we were jumping on purpose too. When we
Yeah,
were tubing. I was trying to
Darren and
fall.
I started jumping on purpose and not like using our hands to hang on.
We just could. We
There-
just couldn't fall over. I don't
there
know.
will be some footage of that in my vlog. So those who watch,
Yeah, I can't wait.
Oh,
I can't
very
wait
exciting.
To see that. That'd be awesome.
Andrew Meyer, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says Kyle Larson is a great driver, but you can't convince me that this team isn't cheating in some area. A month and a half of pure domination is mad sus.
You know what? I give him props. You know what I mean? How many times have we seen before? You know, some of these teams, you know, super dominant, but then, you know, hey, you know, might be pushing, you know, the, you know, certain areas a little too far. But I mean, I'm quite sure NASCAR would have found something by now, though, right? I mean, like at this point, wouldn't they?
I think.
Well, they're watching them more now.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
They're
watching them close, but I don't know.
I mean, hey, look, you got to give them props. They're just, you know, they're working within the rules, and you know, hey, some of these teams, you know, they love to work with the medium, you know, sometimes. So that's what they're just doing. That's what they're.
Dustin says for $1.99, remember that Larson was hot this time last year. Hashtag 50 something. I think that's like how many wins he had, like in the summer.
Oh yeah, in the dirt. Yeah, in the dirt, man. He was on one.
Jar Jar Binks for $4.99. Darian now knows this reference after
I
we watched
do. I
Phantom
finally know
Menace.
what he sounds like and stuff. And Jar Jar Binks is kind of an idiot, but you know, he's a lovable idiot.
He said, "You so hurt my feelings, Eric. We so supposed to be best friends. We so supposed to support each other. You some big doo doo. Me so hurt, Eric."
To be fair, I was the only one at the house that didn't watch Star Wars with y'all. I was busy editing, so.
See, Jared kept promising. I'm like, dude, do not take your eyes off the screen at all, dude. Like, just make sure you're all. I mean, it was good. It was good though.
I did warn him. I'm like, dude, this one sucks. Like
the first half of that one was so bad. I'm like, oh, this is taking forever.
Yeah. You're probably like sitting there halfway through. You're like, why the hell did Jarrett want me to? Oh, Darth Maul.
Well, no. You had told me it was bad in advance. I was like, okay. Okay.
And the next one is bad, but it's still like a guilty pleasure. It's funny bad, but then it's really good at the end. And then the third one's awesome. Skull741 for $20 says, "Hey, I just wanted to say thanks for getting me into NASCAR. Since finding you guys on here over quarantine, I've gotten super invested. Also, do you think a track in Washington State would ever work, and what would it be?" Well, one, thanks. I mean, thank you for watching. Like,
Thank you. And yes, I've been saying this for years that NASCAR should really tap into that market. I mean, you know, if not in Washington State, perhaps just in within that region of the country. Like, I mean, for example, in Oregon, you know, Portland, what is it? Portland International Raceway or they have a road course out there though that IndyCar used to go to. So that's, you know, perhaps an option. But as for Washington State, I don't really know all like of the tracks down there, but I do know that, you know, they have a pretty decent short track scene. So if NASCAR ever wanted to go there, perhaps maybe a street course in Seattle would be pretty intriguing, you know, to start off. You never know. So,
you know, it'd probably rain.
Yeah, it definitely rain. Get out the rain tires. That's for sure.
Jar Jar thought the race was. I'm not gonna read another Jar Jar. I'm sorry, Jar Jar, but the race. He thought the race was good, and then he said,
okay. We gotta limit some of the memes sometimes, guys.
Avatar Cora for $4.99 says the Avatar proclaims Nashville Superspeedway is a must for the 2022 schedule. Further, the Avatar confirms Eric's treatment towards Jar Jar Binks. He seems to be a good guy. And then she says, "Boo Harvick." And then she clarified that. Michael Jensen for $20 says, "Can't listen live, so this chat is for later in the show. Even with how dominant Larson has been, all that matters is the last stage at Phoenix. None of what he's doing now matters, much like Harvick last year."
Yeah, no. I mean, like that is the reality though too.
It matters. Winning races now get you those playoff points. It locks you into Phoenix. Harvick didn't even make it to Phoenix last year because he sucked in the chase.
And just hey, you never know with this playoff system though, man. You just never know sometimes. So we'll see where Larson is. That would just suck if Larson like somehow just did not make it out of the round of 16. That's not gonna happen. But I mean, just the possibility of that happening though is
I want the chaos.
Weird. Yeah.
Xavier Herrera says for $10, the NBC broadcast was much, much greater than Fox's broadcast. Commentary and attention to the entire field was great. Plus, side by side when they went to commercials on green flag runs.
Oh, and don't forget the Jimmy Johnson Carvana commercials too. That's going to be another aspect of the broadcast.
We're almost to the bottom of these. Let's get through these so we can get to the next stuff. JC JC12, God, I can't speak. JC1424, thanks for the $5. Says they are so worried about preventing COVID while hosting 38,000 plus fans that they neglect the danger of causing dehydration or heat strokes. It's a reality.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they did get blindsided, to be completely honest. So, but Rocky Mountain Racer for $5 says this question is probably for Danny B. Does Nashville have a public transit system downtown to get people to the fairgrounds?
I don't think there's a bus that goes near to the fairgrounds. Doesn't go to the fairgrounds there. There might be one that kind of drops off somewhat not that far away. Of course, there's Uber and stuff. There's a train system that goes from Lebanon to downtown Nashville, but it's only Monday through Friday, so it's not going to help anything at all. Plus, it'd be still far away from the Speedway, so really not much out there.
Well, he followed it up by saying at least to the Titan Stadium, then use a shuttle over to the track and back, kind of like the 500.
If the city could work with the train service to run that on the weekend, then I guess, yeah, that'd be an option. You could literally take it to downtown, then walk across the bridge, or just get set up and parking at the Speedway. Then that'd be something more like they have to have talks with other people. So there is ways that could be done.
Okay. Let's see. Todd Blue for the Canadian 5 says, did you guys hear about NASCAR apparently getting close to signing a new manufacturer? The guys in Door Bumper Clear were talking about it. I've heard Honda, but that's popped up for 10, 20 years now.
Somebody did it. Yay. There we go.
Huh?
Nice. Somebody made the meme. Eric's. Look at Eric's thing.
Oh, sorry. I don't have the...
Okay. There you go. Yeah.
All right.
Does someone in the chat said Eric is better than Jordan? I like what I'm hearing.
Nice. Billy 88 Joe says last Chevy to win at Pocono came 6 years ago with Junior Sweep. Is that true?
Wow, really? Dude, they haven't won since then. Damn. Seems like yesterday.
A lot of Toyota wins. Who won last year? Harvick and Hamlin, didn't they win? Or Hamlin won both?
I think Hamlin won both, or they might have split.
I think both they split, but I don't remember.
It's Pocono. Nobody remembers.
GN says for $5, I don't think coolers should be banned, but if they will continue to be running out of concessions, it's absolutely unacceptable and disgraceful.
Ooh, disgraceful. I like that. That's a good word.
Disgraceful. There you go. Big words. That's what I'm talking about.
Vote Kyle 3000 says for $4.99, Fox should get a 2004 to 06 Roush driver in the booth. That'd be good.
And Biffle and Kenza throw on that Daytona 500 watch along on the Fox YouTube channel with Haley Dean. It was a weird trio. That was a really weird trio. But hey, that means Biffle's on their radio.
Awkward,
or on their radar, not radio, on their radar.
Let's see. Bruce Apocalypse says for $5, what's your opinion as to Denny Hamlin's subpar performance this season despite leading the points? I'd figure we'd see him in victory lane by now. Thoughts? I think it's just ebbs and flows of the season.
Yeah, and also, the fact I would also have to think that, being a car owner brings its own stresses, as well too. So
we'll pick these up a little bit later in the show. We'll start back up with GP Laps $5 super chat.
GP,
Jake. So we'll pick that. We'll pick that one up later. But let's get back to some of the topics. We got one more topic before we get into the Pocono and SRX preview, and that is that NASCAR is exploring the idea of an all-electric companion series. I am choking up thinking about it.
Tesla, let's go. Where you at, Tesla?
Eric, I want you to start us out on this one, man, because we talked about this at the house a bit, and I think we're kind of all on the same page, but I know a lot of fans are. We talked a bit. We get broken. We were like up in the man cave of the Danny B Cloud House.
The Danny B Cloud House, baby.
IDK called it the Cloud House.
The Danny B Cloud House. I don't know what to make of it. I think I guess first off, everyone's gonna say, "Oh, all electric series. Oh my goodness, what is this?" That's not.
They're taking away my NASCAR.
That's not my NASCAR. Internal combustion engine NASCAR. Yeah. I'm not. I don't mean to make fun of it.
That's not the NASCAR I grew up on.
But I need my NASCAR to sound like.
Did we do that again, Danny? Right into the mic.
Out of context. There you go. Give them to you all night.
But no, what I think of was what I'm trying to say is it's a smart business decision. You think about the Formula E series when it started up, it drew a lot of immediate interest from manufacturers, and I honestly think haven't heard anyone talking really about this, but I honestly think whoever this new manufacturer is that's being rumored to be interested in NASCAR that might jump in the next year or two, I'll bet part of what's interesting them is the proposed NASCAR electrical series. My question is, will the electrical series replace an existing series? Does that replace ARCA effectively? Where does that fit in amongst like the driver ladder? Like right now, it's basically like K&N or ARCA East and West, ARCA, Trucks, Xfinity Cup. Does it replace a series? I've heard there've been rumors that JGR might cut back its Xfinity program. Like, does Xfinity die? I saw Tommy Joe Martins was tweeted like a meme that like Xfinity, this could replace the Xfinity series or something like that. There's a lot of questions there about where the electrical series would fit in, but I think it's smart that NASCAR is exploring it because that for sure will attract interested manufacturers. And, we've talked about this. NASCAR is funded by TV commercials. It really is. If not for all the TV commercials that Fox and NBC sell, NASCAR wouldn't have the money it has. Other series like Formula E and even to some extent Formula One are much more heavily funded by OEMs, by manufacturers. And I think that's a good thing. That's a good thing to strive for if you're NASCAR. And I think an electrical series could quickly reach that level. I think quickly Tesla, Honda, Ford, some of these manufacturers that have talked about going all electric or something in the not so distant future, I think they will pour money into an electrical series, even if there's not a ton of viewership right away. So I think it's a great business move. If it happens in the next 2, 3, 4 years, I think it's great. My question is just where does it fit in on TV in the pecking order in the ladder? Like where does it fit in exactly? That's my question.
What if we're thinking too small and we're only thinking on the American side of it? What if this is like something that is more of a worldwide thing? Because that's something definitely worldwide. Sure. Electrical, like it's not as big in America, but I know over in Europe especially, more of the electrical side of just autos in general and cars in general is heavily focused on over there, and they're much more stringent with their regulations and stuff. So that might be something that could appeal to more worldwide fans, I guess. I don't know. It's a shot in the dark.
No. Yeah, no, you're right about that.
No, I think it's absolutely fair.
Maybe it goes along with the Euro series. Maybe it replaces because I know they have like different tiers of stuff over there. Maybe there's more than one.
I could see this replacing ARCA. Look, I'm like ARCA's not totally dead and stuff, but I mean when you have races where some of the car counts are like what 10, 11 cars per race and stuff, then
they got a top 10. Where'd they finish? Yeah. 8th. How many entered? 8.
Look, I mean, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but like that type of thought runs through your head. Like, oh, an all electric series. I mean, hey, you have a series here that's kind of been, withering down, over the past few years. So I could totally see this replacing one of them. Now this series possibly replacing the Trucks or Xfinity. I don't know about that.
Well, I just think I worry that they'll drive way differently. Like electrical cars, at least in other series, do handle and drive a little bit differently than gas powered, traditional race cars. So that's the thing is like, can you jump straight from the electric series into the Cup series and immediately have success? That's what I mean. Like, where would it fit in the pecking order? I think it would have to stand alone. And I hadn't even thought of Jarrett's idea of it being in a more internationally focused series. I think that certainly is plausible as well. I just think either way, if there's any pushback, like NASCAR shouldn't even be exploring this like that. That kind of thinking needs to go out the window. I think it's smart for NASCAR to be exploring this. The question is just where it fits in. I think the business is there. I think the money will support it. As long as you get a couple manufacturers to commit, they'll support it. Just where does it fit into the ecosystem? That's all I'm asking.
Yeah. And I think, because I don't think this is going to happen in the next 3 or 4 years. I think putting an entirely new series together with cars that really, let's be honest, NASCAR has no expertise in at this moment. I think that's going to take years. Like that might take a decade to materialize.
A long time.
We'll see. I think it could be done realistically in 2 to 3 years, but that'd be pushing it maybe.
I think it's going to move with the car industry, because I know that GM, for instance, is talking about going like all electric by 2035. Ford, I think, is like 2030. Dodge.
Did Honda say they're doing it too? That's what made me think about Honda.
I think they are. I mean, oh boy, there's. Okay, it's off me now. I don't know
What?
if it's a fly or if it's a horn. Okay, that one's a fly.
Thank goodness.
Oh god.
I mean, Dodge is the only one that's like going the other way with it. They're gonna, again, they're gonna snort a line of coke and put a freaking Hellcat in a Hemi, or in a minivan. But no, I mean, I think it's gonna go along with the car industry. I think that'll make it easier. It'll be easier to ease different manufacturers into it. More goddamn bugs.
Jarrett versus the Bugs tonight.
We're back. It's summer. It's right on the mic.
We're back. We're back again.
It's actually riding. It's riding on the UFO.
No, I see it. I see it.
That's pretty cool. But I'm actually.
That must have felt so fast for that little guy.
Oh yeah, it's probably going like 110 basically.
Like, oh god, this is a mistake. Ah!
But the G-forces were.
Anyway, I'm actually kind of excited about the possibility of this happening, or it sounds
I'm
like
very
it
excited.
happened.
Very excited.
Like, just
Sorry.
to see
I'm
something
laughing
different.
at this. I'm laughing at this comment. ARCA is just a bunch of 17-year-olds flipping cars at short tracks.
Hey, exactly. So you might as well just turn it into some all-electric thing. It might as well.
That just made me laugh.
That is pretty funny.
That's funny.
But yeah, man. I mean, it's definitely something. Again, it's something different, and I think that's what this brand of NASCAR leadership has really done.
That's what I'm liking. Like this brand of this new NASCAR leadership role. I mean, like these guys are willing to take a risk like this too. I mean, who knows how this will turn out? Hell, this might not even come to fruition. But just the fact that they're having a legit conversation about making it happen, though, that says a lot about where their headspace is at. So.
Instead of spin the UFO, they can super chat ride the UFO now.
Yeah, ride the UFO. Gotta ride. Man.
Well, enough kind of focusing on years in the future. Let's focus on this weekend. We got a Pocono doubleheader as well as the SRX. So let's get the rundown for everybody. See where they can watch and everything, and when it'll be on.
Let's go.
First of all, where is SRX racing this weekend?
Eldora.
Okay.
All right, so Pocono doubleheader. The Cup Race channel, well, it's going to be on NBCSN, both races, MRN. It'll be on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time and Sunday at 3:30 Eastern Time. The Xfinity race will be on Sunday before the Cup race at noon Eastern. Noon start times, baby. Nice.
Woo!
As I just destroyed my mic clapping into it. And then the Truck Series will also start at noon on FS1 on Saturday. All of these, by the way, if I didn't mention earlier, are on MRN. The SRX, again, will be on CBS Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time at Eldora. Looking at the weather for this weekend, Saturday in Long Pond, Pennsylvania, will be 77.
Long Pond,
Pennsylvania.
I wonder if a fan will run across the track again. Anyway, Saturday, it'll be 77 degrees out, partly sunny, humid, 25% chance of rain, but for Pocono standards, that's actually not too bad. Sunday is the one that people are keeping an eye on. 79 degrees. An afternoon thunderstorm is predicted, 30% chance of rain on the day.
That's not bad. Only 30% chance of rain. They'll get it in. It just maybe a slight delay.
This track don't have lights. That stupid fly is riding the UFO again.
Damn, 3 p.m., 3:30 p.m. starts.
Eldora. The weather in Eldora on Saturday is going to be 83, breezy, and they're predicting heavy thunderstorms, 55% chance of rain.
Mud racing.
Do
you think Tony will tear up his own track, like just eviscerate it?
Probably. See, I'm curious because I don't know if this is something CBS ever even thought of. The idea that they might not even run the race.
Oh yeah, damn. True. What do they do? If there's like some type of that'll be a challenge. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, hopefully we won't have to worry about that. But I'm sure they have a contingency plan. But I guess the last thing we can get into when it comes to the race this weekend is our picks. Which I just remembered we don't have a guest tonight, so we need to figure out. Danny,
hey, Claudia,
come hither.
Come and catch.
Come hither.
Claudia's at work.
Is Noah still in the chat? And Noah was because I had lunch with Noah today. If he wants to make the picks, but I don't know if he's still watching.
We could do a bidding war again. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm joking.
No.
Actually, yeah. If anyone can find out if Noah is available to do picks, that'd be great.
Yeah, someone DM him while I read off the pick points that just continuously seem to get better every week. I'm sorry, I had to say that. So I am leading with 311 points. Eric is still second, minus 32 now.
I'm falling way back.
The guests are third, minus 46. Darian and Danny are tied. Darian gets a tiebreaker because he predicted more wins correctly so far this year.
Hey, let's go.
He has. See, there's a method to me keeping track of every damn thing that we've done. But they're both minus 60. And chat, you gotta get your stuff together. You're minus 72 in last.
What are those? What was it? Who did they pick that one time? Not Derek Cope. Who did they pick? Kevin LePage.
Yeah,
that killed him.
Yeah,
but.
Well, all right. So, hold on. Okay. So let's get to the picks. How about we start with SRX and we'll do Truck, Xfinity, Cup Suck, Cup Dark Horse, and then,
SRX will be easy.
Yeah. All right, go for it.
Tony Stewart. He was playing with the field all night long at Knoxville. He could have won that race by 3 laps if he tried. He wanted to make it look competitive, so Tony Stewart wins it easily.
It's Mikey. You got him, Mikey. Mikey, dude, I mean, last week, he was running inside the top 3 and he was, battling for the lead. Now, of course, Stewart was obviously sandbagging them, just trying to, make it a little more exciting. But hey, Mikey, he's got that speed, bro. He's got that race winning speed. Mikey, let's go. He's gonna get his win. Let's win Eldora.
Scott Bloomquist was only signed up for the Knoxville one, not Eldora. He would have been my favorite if we were actually at Eldora. But because of that, I'm going to say Tony Stewart.
Okay. Is Deegan racing?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
Our other one is Slinger, I think.
Okay, then I'll go with Smoke too.
Chat's going with Tony Stewart as well.
Yeah. Do we have a guest pick yet?
I'm still waiting to hear back. He's making his picks though. So, hold on. Not for SRX yet. I'm still waiting on that.
All right, well, let's go on to the truck win pick. So I don't know what order. I think Eric, you went first. Then
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been trying to decide. Kyle Busch is in this race, but it's the type of track where I don't necessarily think I think it's going to be more truck than driver. You know what I mean? Like, I just think with the long straightaways, the trucks with the best setup, best aerodynamically, best horsepower, naturally going to bubble to the top. But that being said, I also think Kyle Busch is in one of the best trucks. So I'll play it safe this week. I'll go Kyle Busch.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kyle Busch as well, and also the guest pick for SRX is Tony Stewart as well, by the way. But yeah, Kyle Busch for trucks.
Okay.
Kyle Busch. Don't bet against him.
I'm going John Hunter. If there's one person who can beat Kyle Busch, it's John Hunter.
It's him.
And I've been looking at the 2 lower series at Pocono at the winners, and usually whoever is like the best overall driver in that series is the one who wins. So I'm gonna go John Hunter on this one, and I'll find out if that was a bad pick on Saturday.
I'll see.
What do we got for our guest pick?
Our guest pick, Nemechek as well. So you're not alone.
Ooh, yes, I'm not alone. Nice. All right.
The chat's looking like it's Nemechek or Busch, but it's really pretty split. I think it's leaning Busch, but it's hard to say.
I'll be curious because Ryan Preece is in this one too. I'll be curious if he can go 2 for 2.
I just don't know if that truck is quite good enough.
Now it's starting to go John Hunter.
Yeah, so a lot of John Hunters there.
Yeah,
give him John Hunter. There's a lot of John Hunter.
Our picks are split 50-50. How about that?
Yeah, give it to him.
All right, so let's go to the Xfinity race. Who do we got in that one?
Hold on, I gotta double check and make sure Ty Gibbs isn't racing.
Yeah, I was about to say, you know what?
Oh, he is. All right, Ty Gibbs, he's gonna win it. Wait, is Sam Mayer?
Sam Mayer's making his debut. So
that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be cool.
It's gonna be a hard track to make a debut at, though.
He has a history here though. He used to run pretty good here in ARCA too. He beat Ty Gibbs here
in ARCA before.
Yeah, and so is Sam Mayer too. I think
Ty Gibbs wins it. Again, good car, good kid. Great guy. I think Ty Gibbs. I'll go with him. Just for the memes, but I also think he's good.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards Ty Gibbs as well. I'm leaning towards dominating this weekend. So yeah, Ty Gibbs for me.
I didn't even look. Are any other like Cup guys in it?
You know what? I've been thinking really hard on this one, and I'm actually going to say I think Riley Herbst will go get a monster and bring it to Ty Gibbs after Ty Gibbs wins.
Why would you say that?
I just want to see if you guys think I'd actually say that.
That's great. Yeah, I see what you did there, Danny.
Ty Gibbs, and he'll get that cold monster from the Monster Boy.
And also our guest picked Ty Gibbs as well, too.
Man, I feel like a freaking contrarian this weekend. I'm going with I'm going with the best driver in the series currently, full time, Austin Cindric.
I was gonna say.
No, I think Austin
Austin
Cindric
Cindric
is the best driver in the series, even better over Ty Gibbs.
I think it's crazy that the chat right now is split between two 18-year-olds. Ty Gibbs
there
and like they forgot
Gibbs.
Austin Cindric is in the series, that they forgot Allmendinger.
Hey,
Henry,
these kids are just that good, man.
We've
These drivers,
reached
you
these
know?
kids.
Yeah. And also,
Bless you.
and also, they've been on the podcast like long before they were like even well known too. So
Yeah,
like, some
I
of these
remember-
people, they know him.
I remember the first time we had Sam on. I'm glad they like him now. Like the first time we had him on, like half the chat was like, "Who the hell is this?" Like,
And I'm like, you'll know him. You will know him.
you won't
very
know
soon.
next year, but you'll know in 3 or
Yeah.
4 years.
Yeah. And like, what happened?
I don't know. Now there's some Cindric.
I've seen some Cindric.
I feel like I'm swaying them.
I'm seeing more Gibbs.
I see Cindric. Well,
Someone
I'm
put
starting
Brandon
to see.
Brown.
There's a lot of
Nice.
Sams in here too. They really think they're really thinking very highly of him for his
crazy, man.
debut.
There's gonna be more Gibbs, I think.
There's a lot of Cindrics too.
Mm.
It's between Cindric and Gibbs. It's starting to win. Yeah, it's starting to win Gibbs.
I think
Yeah.
it's Gibbs.
Gibbs.
I'm literally the only person that didn't pick Ty Gibbs, so I'm either gonna win or suck.
What's the guest pick?
Gibbs.
Gibbs.
All right.
Now we get to go double treble for Cup.
So we're just
Yeah.
gonna do one pick for suck and dark horse, just because
Okay, thank you.
I don't want to needlessly.
We'll
clog
just
it
say
up.
like they'll suck or do good
then-
the entire weekend.
And
basically.
then with the Pocono picks, just give both your picks at the same time. Just say what
Okay.
race they're in. But who's gonna suck this week?
I'm sorry. Just tell me again. We have to do 2 win picks and 1 suck and underdog for both days.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just overall in the weekend, who's gonna suck and underdog?
I'm going to go with Matt DiBenedetto. He had a prime opportunity to gain a lot of points at Nashville, and they lost a cylinder. You know, that's uncharacteristic of them. They seem to be running in the top 10 or 15 when they had that issue, so they're having a decent day. But I know that Wood Brothers car has won at Pocono in recent, with Blaney a few years ago, but I just think that team's just so fragile right now.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like something goes wrong more often than it doesn't. So I don't feel good about DiBenedetto.
Okay.
I am not feeling too confident about Chris Buescher this weekend. I mean, yeah, you had the brake problems, and he had that pretty large cushion. But now you're starting to see other guys like Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Ross Chastain's beginning to step it up. So I don't know if he'll be able to hold on to it. So we'll see, though. But I don't know. I don't think Chris Buescher will do the best this weekend.
Track's never been something special for him. His average finish here is like 18th. So Austin Dillon, not a good track for him.
Won't be Mr. Unpopular, man. This dude sucked last year in both races. For the most part, I'm going Chase Elliott. He's my suck pick this week.
Yeah, this is not one of his
not
leader.
not one of his best.
Yeah. So who's our guest got?
So our guest did he even put his suck picks on? Let me check. Let me just make sure.
Well, we can look at the chat right now while you're looking.
Yeah.
Chat's
go ahead.
all over the place. A lot of Custers for some, or maybe it's just one guy spamming
It's
Custer.
one guy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Almirollas.
Yeah, there's a lot of Almirollas, but he just had a top
Just had a good-
5.
he got a good
Yeah.
race. Like I
You
can't
don't
rip
do it.
on him.
But let's be real. Do you think he's going to do good?
Well, probably not. I think you got to give him Almirola. The chat's asking for it. It's not us saying it, it's the chat saying it.
Hey, Almirola got his top 5.
hey,
didn't he get
Things
two
are
top
looking
tens
up.
in a
A
row?
low-hanging fruit, that's them. So
Didn't he get 2 top 10s at Pocono last year and a top 5? Or
Hey,
2
our
top
chat,
5s?
I
our
think so.
chat rejects the analytic revolution. Our chat's going with their gut like the olden days.
The
and
good
they're-
old
they're going-
days.
They're going against Almirola. That's what it
it's
looks like.
Almirola.
I feel like I'm the only one that took a risk on my suck pick. What we got, Darren?
I'm still waiting. Well, he gave me his underdog pick. We're not to that yet. I'm waiting for the who's gonna suck.
Oh,
pick.
I mean, this one doesn't count for points, so we can just move on, honestly.
Yeah, just say who it is once we get to the next one.
All
So
right, gotcha.
Who this weekend would be the dark horse in either of these races? Start it off.
I feel like I know who Danny's going to say, so I'll let him say that guy because he's also one of them. But I'm gonna go with Ross Chastain. I think Ross Chastain, like I said earlier when I was reading off his stats, that team's on a roll. And that was a good point you made earlier, Danny, that Kenseth actually ran really well at Indianapolis last year, which is kind of similar to Pocono. So we'll see. That team's on a roll, had some success at this type of track last year. I think Chastain runs top 5, top 10 once again.
So the guest pick for underdog, he picked Eric Jones. Says that 43 teams could be they're sometimes sneaky solid whenever they want to be. So I agree with that. My pick is the same as Eric's. Ross Chastain. They're already on a roll. They have prior notes from last year's races where Matt Kenseth filled in for them. For Larson, I feel Chastain, this consistency, if this keeps up, then let's say, with 3 or 2 races left to go, he could perhaps have already pointed his way in at this pace. So we'll just see if it can continue though.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards the Chastain route. I was going back and forth between him and Stenhouse, but Stenhouse, he finished worse than he started in both races last year, so I'm going to go with Chastain on this one.
And also, our guest picked Eric Amarillo for who's going to suck.
Well, for my dark horse pick, I wouldn't have picked him earlier in the season, but because of his struggles in like the last 3 months, I think I can. He didn't do too hot last year overall in the season, but he did do well here. I'm going to go with Bell as my underdog pick. I think he's finally gotten back into the underdog range when it comes to picks.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys it's really clear that Daniel Suarez is the pick for the
That's what I thought that's who you were going to say, Danny, because I was
Suarez. Suarez is a good one. He's finished P2 here before.
Yeah, exactly. I've been going back. I was going back and forth between him and Chastain.
I've got him on my radar. But
coming up,
as far as an underdog, I'm definitely thinking Chastain more than him.
And also have to remember, coming off a solid top 10 in Nashville too. That team, yeah, they're good. They're good, man.
Chat seems to be going Suarez. I like it.
Yeah, they're going Suarez. All right, so list off. Just say like your pick for Pocono 1 is who, and Pocono 2 is the other. If you're gonna sweep, just say they'll sweep.
Gotcha.
Start it off. Who's win? Darren, you gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Who's gonna win the
Pocono?
Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? The Pocono doubleheader. Eric.
All right, hold on a second. Let's see. Starting first is Kyle Larson. I think Kyle Larson will lead 95% of the laps this weekend and will win both races.
You're saying Larson sweep.
Who's your second?
I say.
Well, no. Who's your second?
No, Kyle Larson.
Oh,
he'll win everything.
Sweeping? Okay.
Sweep.
I think he's going to literally win everything that's possible. He'll be the first driver out on the grid. He'll be the first driver interviewed during the weekend. He's going to be the first driver everything.
It's funny. I was looking at his last 2 races, though, in 2019.
Oh, I don't care. He's going to win. He could be the winner. He was terrible at road courses this year, and he should have 2 wins.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, no, I was going to say this is one he was good at before that, even in 42. And the June race in 2019, he finished first in stage 1, first in stage 2. Something went wrong, and he finished 26th somehow.
Oh, he's going to – oh, man, it's over. Don't even show up.
All right, so I have Kyle Larson winning race 1 at Pocono. He's going to start on the pole. Clear advantage. Awesome job. Get in there, Larson. And then number 2 – good old Denny Hamlin finally is going to come through, get his first win of 2021. Hey, look, I know I picked him. I picked Hamlin a bunch. He let me down a bunch early on in the season, but this is Pocono. Y'all know what Denny Hamlin can do here usually. So Hamlin,
where his career started on a computer.
Yes, exactly. So why not? And also for the guests, he has Larson sweeping just like Eric. So
damn.
All right. As for me on race 1, I have Larson winning that one. Race 2, I don't have Larson winning that one. And actually, the reason I didn't use him earlier is because I'm saying Suarez will win the second race at Pocono.
Wow.
That's a bold. I
We're
take
gonna
back
have a whole day to practice and get him comfortable, and he'll come out swinging.
I take back what I said. Danny took the biggest risk this weekend, and that's no disrespect to Suarez.
Hey, that's actually
that's I'd love that if that happens.
Yeah, that'd be a good storyline.
All right, I'm not going to be very creative with my first one. Larson, we're all picking Larson for the first one. I do think Denny's going to win the second one. I mean, he had tons of speed with the same package at the same track last year. Probably should have swept both the races if it wasn't for little things here and there. And while I think that Larson will be his toughest competition, I do think that Denny's going to get his win here. It'll take literally over half the season because it'll be race 19 of the season. He'll get his win finally, but he's going to get his win. He'll officially lock himself in, and we won't have the meme about how far ahead he is anymore.
Exactly.
So this the chat's been very hard to tell because like they're all saying Larson for number one, but I'm
Okay,
seeing
so we all have the same pick.
I'm seeing a little bit back and forth though. I see a lot of people saying Byron wins race 2, and a lot of people saying Hamlin wins race 2.
I guess we'll leave it to the chat. Hamlin or Byron?
Yep, leave a comment now.
Yeah. How about this? Just leave a 24 for Byron and 11 for Hamlin. Let's see how many are in the chat. This could either be really good or disastrous.
Oh, by the way, this is random too, but I guess the current Euro NASCAR points leader is also making his Xfinity Series debut this weekend. So I just got that text, so that's cool.
I hope he runs well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're okay. Now they're just saying the names.
They'll start up. There we go. We got a number.
I'm saying more Hamlin so far.
I think once we see the numbers start going through, that'll make it easier.
Yeah.
I think it's 11.
I'm saying some for Byron, but I'm saying more 11s, honestly.
It's
11.
close. It's close, but I think it's 11.
You have to give it to the 11s.
There was like 5 11s in a row. They went 5 24s in a row.
Yeah, they always make it like just even enough, but it is looking like it's leaning Hamlin.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of 11s now.
Oh man, all
Yeah.
of a sudden there's a lot of Byrons. There's like 10 in a row. Oh god, yeah,
It's so
damn.
close. It's so close.
I'm gonna give it to Hamlin, honestly.
I don't know. It's just
if we give him Byron though, they have a better chance of either losing or making up points. Could be more exciting.
With you saying that, I want to give them just a little bit to see if they start changing. We'll sway the chat, but it's really. I mean, it's not even repeats either.
Yeah, it's pretty even.
There's a lot of 24s though, but
We're trying
it's
to help
even.
you out, chat. We want to make sure we get the right answer for y'all.
Yeah, we don't want to mess it up, but it's just so tight. It's so airtight right now.
Maybe I'm training my brain to look for it. I see a 420. I think that means give him a Byron.
Yeah.
well, they do have a CBD sponsor this weekend for the race, right?
At Pocono.
Hey,
yeah.
and it's not gonna get taken off of the car like long.
I've seen
But
a lot.
God
Carl
help-
Long's mad about it. Bobby
Yeah.
Vine's
Because
mad about it.
God help. If these teams try to find extra money elsewhere, God help them.
No, but God help them if they have anything in their system in a drug test. When they have a sponsor for the race, literally could be like, what? They were passing out. It was for free. They were passing it out.
Hey, it was free. It was the free. Hey, I just.
It's so dead even. Do you guys just want to maybe flip a coin or something?
Hey, yeah, we might as well. Hey,
Here, I have an SD card. Gold
I was
side
literally
up.
about to pull out an SD card, but you got one. So
Gold side up will go Hamlin. Dark side is Byron.
Watch
All
it
right,
lands
go.
on its side.
Oh, it did. Hold on. Let me throw it again. I landed in the crack. Hold on. Landed in the crack. Let's see how.
What are the odds?
That's great.
Okay. It landed on. Where's it at?
Right
There it
there.
is. Dark side.
Byron. Yep, y'all had no choice. Sorry, chat. You made your bed.
You know what's
Byron
funny
did
as
it.
hell is
Landed in
nobody
the crack.
like basically the first race is just it's a wash. It's dead even for the first cup race now. And then
Yeah, it's just all Larson.
and then there's me being a contrarian in the Xfinity race. So yeah,
Ty Gibbs.
that's a good show.
So that's the pick. So yeah, that's the show.
All
right, let's
get that first win.
Let's get these super chats all finished out, and then we will head on our way and we'll tell them who we have next week. We've already actually talked about him numerous times tonight on the show. So like,
Ty Gibbs.
no, that takes one option away. But chat while we're reading super chats, leave who you think the guest for next week will be on Darian's channel. So GP Labs for $5 said that shout out to my boy Ryan Priest, 2 Stafford boys in just a few weeks making headlines, Doug Kobe and Ryan Priest. That's not that good point. Matthew Mix says, did they really delay the start of the race because of traffic or because no one was in the stands? Because most of the fans were under the grandstands. No, it was because of traffic.
Traffic.
Nicholas Gray, thanks for the $5, says, in your best Monster Jam announcer voice, would you introduce your favorite driver? By the way, Kyle Busch gets win 100. Whoop, whoop. I don't have a monster.
And our best
Jam
monster
voice.
truck boys. Driving the 99. Daniel Suarez.
Wait,
Is
so
that a good monster voice?
Pretty good.
Wait, so that's your favorite now?
No, I don't know. I'm just saying random driver. I don't have a favorite driver.
No.
I don't have a favorite driver.
Eric, let's hear about Ty Gibbs.
They're my favorite next gen team.
Driving the unsponsored number 54, Ty Gibbs.
I apologize, Spotify.
Let me go. It's Sunday, and here he is in the 48 Ally, Alex Bowman, the showman.
And walking up to the booth, the former driver of the 88 Chevrolet, Dale Earnhardt Jr., a.k.a. Ralph Dale Earnhardt III.
All right, and now I just want to do this impression. The wheel is in his hands, the sky, the wind is flowing through his hair.
All right, let's get back to these real quick. Todd Blue for the Canadian 5 says, oh, and by the way, those in the chat, you also, a lot of you have guessed the right pick, so you can choose from who you've chosen from so far. But Todd says, hey, Eric, for your chart, this is for the charter, Eric, but you need to keep my name on the charter, Blue Estepp Racing.
Thank you. Yeah, that'll go a long way towards securing a $10 million charter. Thank you.
Levi Jones, thank you for the 199. Says, haven't done this in a while. Hope y'all are well. I'm doing all right.
We hope you're well, sir.
Yeah, hope you guys are all doing well at home. Motor Lover 191 for $5 says, went to the Cup and Xfinity race. Traffic was awful. Left at 12. Didn't get in until 3. Missed the green flag. Also, met Logano on Saturday and BFM at Nashville TSA.
Oh yeah. I saw you on the way out. That was so cool. You recognized
you met someone at the airport?
Yeah, I was on my way out. Yeah, I was just
Hey,
going
I
through
wanted
TSA.
to ask you because when I dropped you up, I swear I kept seeing these guys that was like looking at you the whole time you were getting out. I thought someone was about to recognize you.
I didn't see. I don't know. I don't know why they were there.
Scott McNew, thank you for the $10, says, hey everyone, hope you guys enjoyed Nashville this weekend as much as I did. This may not be a popular choice, but I'd like to see Phil Parsons replace Gordon in the booth.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Phil Parsons, he's all right. I mean,
If I see Phil Parsons back in a commentary role of someone in a lead weight, I'd honestly rather see him back with Rick Allen. That was a good duo.
Yeah,
He
it
was
was a good
there
one.
this weekend. I saw him.
Yeah, we saw him in the
there
media
on
center.
Saturday.
He was in the media center, yeah.
Scott McNew, thank you for the $5, says, also, Eric, it was nice to meet you in the Hall of Fame today. Was a nice surprise and very much one of the highlights of my vacation.
Oh, that was you. That's awesome. Yeah, well, thank you for saying hi.
Chris Cahill for the Canadian 5 says, at the halfway point of the season, and if the playoffs start today, round by round, what are your guys' predictions? I won't go round by round, but I'll say
it's so hard. That's hard.
I'll say that Larson right now is the favorite, but a lot can change in that time.
Yeah, it's the
I'm
playoffs.
just going to go ahead and say it. Blaney goes out round 1 again. That is a horrible round. That round is so bad for him.
Levi Schoensing for the 199 says, what's the best paint scheme from Nashville? Alex Bowman's car.
Bowman's, and then second was the Gravedigger.
It's really close between Harvick and Bowman.
Yeah.
That Bowman, I like simplistic stuff too, and that's like simple but also really cool.
And also the third one, Suarez's that bar scheme. What is it? Tootsie's or whatever it's called. Yeah, that was good. That was a good.
I like the PetSmart DoorDash crossover was easy spot as well.
This is interesting.
Groovy Goose for now $1.99. What if Pocono used their Roval configuration? Oh, maybe.
No, I don't.
Maybe one day.
No,
I don't think it'd make it that much better.
We need one triangle track. We need to keep it tight.
I like it. I mean, it may be boring, but hey, it might be boring sometimes, but hey, at least Pocono's unique in a sense with that. Yeah. So I don't mind it.
They got 2 races. I'm just messing. Let's see what else we got here. Chris Cahill again for the Canadian 2 says win pick is have best average finish of 9.67. So William Byron. Wow, no, he's good.
Yeah, he's good here.
Not beating Larson.
whiskey _ Foxy 31. This is actually big because we do have like a good amount of Canadian fans. Says for Canadians, Trucks is Fox Sports Racing. Xfinity is on TSN 3.5, and then Cup is also on TSN 3.5. I don't know
Canadians.
exactly what all of it means, just because I don't live in Canada.
Those are just different TV stations, I guess. So I know some of them, I guess. TSN.
And then Blue
heard.
Jimmy 48 fan says for $5, can't wait to be at Pocono Saturday.
Ah,
and then
he's
the
going
plan
there.
on Sunday to see Jimmy race once again. I'm surprised no one told me to spin the UFO this episode. It surprises me.
Spin the UFO.
I'll spin it for Darian.
There you go. I said it once.
Hosts are the rare exception. But thank you guys for all the super chats. And now I guess we can end this baby out. And Darian, we're gonna be in your channel next week, June 30th, normal time.
Yep.
Who we got coming on?
Sam Meyer or Meyer, however you want to say it. Yeah, however you want to say his name. We're gonna catch up with him after his Xfinity Series debut and see how he did.
The mayor on. The mayor
Yeah.
will be on with us.
And I can still remember when we first had him on, everyone was like, "Who is this kid?" And now everybody knows his name. Everybody's requesting to have him on, so it'll be cool to have him on once again next week. And we'll chat him up about his Xfinity debut. And also, we'll also be talking about Road America because we'll be out there. Eric, Jarrett, and myself will be out there for that weekend.
And Road America is Sam's home track in the
exactly.
Xfinity Series. So
so we can talk about that too.
This should be pretty interesting. I see UFOs in the chat. Good man. Good man.
Real quick on kind of an unrelated note, I don't know, a lot of you guys might also be familiar with this Blue Emu Firecracker 400 that's been going on. I actually have a car entered in that race. Brian Mercurio is driving a special number 44, Danny B Needs a Minute / Danny B Talks throwback to Connie Saylor in the 1980s cars. And they're currently having qualifying for that. They had a bunch of preliminary races all last week. He made it through that. And I think there's like 80 something people who have qualified for this. The top 42 move on, I think. The Danny B Talks car is actually sitting 8th with I don't know, maybe 6 cars remaining. So good run by my car in that.
Nice.
Nice.
Good. I like it. All right, guys. Well,
Good show.
Nice.
Good first show not being in the same place for the first time in 2 weeks.
Yeah, sadness.
I missed that cookie cake.
I know.
I miss the Danny B Cloud House.
I know. I miss everything. I miss you guys already.
Shogs misses his uncles.
All right. How about this? We'll get on out of here. I'll blow the Dale call. I'm gonna turn my mic down and see if maybe it won't blow completely out this time.
And guys, catch me in IDK stream in a few minutes. I'll be on iRacing. I'll be
On your controller.
Yeah, on my controller. Yep. Where's the controller? I gotta get it ready. Yep.
He needs a wheel.
Somebody get my mind
The
a wheel. My
iRacing
man a wheel.
sticks going.
iRacing
I'll be ready to
sticks.
go. Yeah.
All right.
Gotta
I'm
give
gonna
him
move this out of the way.
Gotta give him the moves.
There goes the wasp.
Whoa, look how blurry my hand looks. Whoa, it's so fast.
Remember Drake and Josh?
Yeah, I
Oh,
couldn't do
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, See, he got arrested.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I
off
saw
topic.
that. I
Yeah,
saw
it was
that.
something like a 15-year-old.
Weird charges.
Yeah,
And with
pretty messed
that,
up.
let's roll the outro with that. That's a good way to end, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, oh, wow. Yeah, okay. Well, until next time, y'all.
Don't get arrested. Kind of hurt.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.